guys, welcome back to We Watch Movie. I'm Mike.
I'm Jay.
He knew it this time.
I know.
He
I was
didn't
going to
call
say gay,
himself
but I went with
gay.
Jay because it's getting old. But I'll say it next time. Don't worry, guys.
You being gay.
And yes, I understand. I'm wearing the Ghostbuster jacket. I know I wore it. I wore it in the Patreon. This is one of the most comfortable jackets I own. I just fucking love it. It really is.
And the
good.
khaki looks nice with the blue too.
Yeah, I know. I did that on purpose.
Kind of having a hard time not looking.
But I just want to live my life, just sit and putter. Life is candy, and the sun is a ball of butter.
What is that from?
Barbara Streisand, Don't Rain on My Parade. Do you remember that scene in Mrs. Doubtfire when they were trying to make him a woman?
Oh, yeah. How the hell y'all doing out there in the streets? I hope you guys aren't like us and we're about to get butt fucked by like 12 inches of snow.
I know. It's going to come down. Jack Frost is putting his big old icy cock right in there and saying, feel good.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of other news, in 2020, I think it was April of 2020, the largest lightning strike ever was recorded. It was 477 miles. It stretched across one lightning bolt from Texas to Louisiana in one bright flash. So it goes to show you that, again, any man can run quicker than the wind and gain lots of distance when the mother says, I'm pregnant. He's gone like a flash.
I was gonna say, it sounds like
it was really just a dude. It was just a dude that was running. And she was like, I'm pregnant.
God took some pre-workout.
And she's like, you're the father.
Had one of those pre-workout farts. That's what really happened. Those are the worst.
Dude, I was taking a nap today, and my dog was laying next to me, and I farted, and and his butt was touching mine, and it vibrated through him, and he went. He was just like frustrated. He didn't smell it, but he just like, I'm not your fart cushion.
I love it when dogs do that shit.
I started giggling, dude. I was like,
oh shit. The Jaeger Bomb, first super chat of the night. Thank you, Jaeger Bomb. Says, have you guys seen the 10-minute free YouTube movie called Curve? Would love to hear your guys' thoughts on it. I ain't never even heard of that shit, man.
Sounds like it's about my wiener. It does curve. No, I've never seen it.
Soft, shriveled, and slightly to the left.
Yeah, it's curved. It's curved slightly. I've never seen it.
You're lying, Jaeger Bomb. That's just your short that you just now uploaded, and you're just trying to be cool. You're like, hey, has everybody heard about this cool movie I just found out about on YouTube? It's called Curve.
That's a smart idea. That would be that's a great way to get that shit done.
That's what I'm gonna start doing when we make a short film.
Yeah, like, I saw this really funny sketch that I don't know. You guys seen this? And then it's like, you assholes.
Hey, somebody said Sutter's in here. He is in here. What the fuck?
Gillette, the best a man can get. Gillette.
What is it, Mom?
I haven't seen that sexy bastard in a minute.
I know, dude. I still remember your face and your smell and the way your dick tastes.
Like candy.
Was that last part out loud?
Yeah, it was, but that's okay. I agreed. It's like candy. I know a boy who's tough but sweet.
Sutter.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Jonathan, man, thanks, buddy. Says, can I get an Amadeus duet, guys? It's all
I know is like, I come to rock Amadeus. I'm a superstar. I come particularly.
Amadeus.
Oh, he's like, and then I know the remix. It's like, ooh, rock me, Amadeus. Amadeus.
Like, and then at the end he goes, oh,
dude, the only part I could pick out of that German was like, a couple of pumpole, because he sounds like he's like great pun. A couple of great pun.
Courtney Reed says, can I hear some Mike Wahlberg on the Super Bowl? You know, that fucking Joe Burrow, man, he's supposed to be pretty goddamn good. I know a lot of Tom Brady fans don't want to hear this shit. I, as a Tom Brady fan, don't want to hear this shit, but I think he's going to end up being better than fucking Tom Brady. More Super Bowls than everything else. He's going to go head body on the Rams tomorrow night. Sunday night. Next Sunday night. You get the fucking idea. Don't look at me like that. I'll curb stomp you.
Who are you? Who's the quarterback?
Joe Burrow.
Oh,
Joe Burrow.
I thought Patrick Mahomes was the one that was going to rival Brady in later years.
Well, you know, he could too.
I don't care. I hope he fails because I hate his girlfriend and his brother.
They are annoying.
Fuck it. TikTok fucks.
You TikTok fucks.
TikTok cocks. Yeah, you know, and I feel bad for Patrick Mahomes because I mean he seems like a good guy. Like he seems like, and he's got a lot of talent. But Jesus Christ, if you're anchored to those fucking clowns, fuck.
I actually feel bad for Patrick Mahomes in that situation because they're all like cuddly with each other. It's like, dude, why is your brother always touching your wife?
You know why? You know, he's probably fucking his girlfriend.
Yeah, I hope not.
That's why.
Imagine that. It could happen to all of us, guys.
Well, maybe they can make a TikTok video about why that's a great idea for him.
Well, he does the TikToks with me, and you were at practice.
Yeah, look, it's like I'm not, you can cheer on your boyfriend or your husband or your brother, but Jesus Christ, have a little class. I mean, it's all I'm saying. Like, fuck. Like,
Yeah,
just
when
don't go
everyone
on the field and do like weird dances that look like you're having a stroke and say it's TikTok. You're not TikTok famous. You're only TikTok as your brother. Like,
yeah,
that's it.
yeah, exactly. Like, let the guy breathe. Let him live his dream. You're making it all about
Can
you.
you call your mom and tell her to fucking come get my kid brother?
Yeah,
Jesus.
really.
Patrick Mahomes is like that one older brother. It was like, your mom told you have to take your little brother with you. You're like, Mom, come on, seriously. It's like, take your little brother with you. He's the only brother you've got.
Yeah, he does. He looks just like Patrick Mahomes, but with like no personality attributes. His face is just blank. Like,
So it's just Eli Manning.
yeah, Eli
It's just
Payton.
Eli
Maybe that's
Manning.
one gets all the traits. Yeah. Mark Ponce de Leon. I know it's not your name, but I just want to call you that. Mark Ponce says, my sons Jaden and Jackson want to know which Scream movie is Dr. Loomis's favorite.
None of them. They suck. I don't have time to watch Scream. But you know what I scream for? I scream for Michael Myers to be 6 foot under. I don't care about little children running around playing in ghost face masks and saying stabby stab to Sidney Prescott. Sidney Prescott's stupid. She should have never gone back to that town anyway. What a dumb idiot. I don't like any Scream. I like you know what my favorite Scream is? Scream. The end. I like that one. I like when the credits roll. It's my favorite part.
That's fitting. That Jaden make sure I say that right. Jaden and Jackson asked that question today because today is Dr. Loomis Donald Pleasance's death birthday.
Mm-hmm.
He died on February the 2nd.
Well, my birthday is February 22nd.
Well, I thought
20
it was
days apart. No, I'm on the 22nd.
Yeah.
That's weird, dude.
You're
My birthday's in the same month as the old Donald Greatness Pleasance, and it's only 20 days apart.
It's that natural. It's like astrology. Is that what they call astrology?
I just think it's called. I don't know. Maybe me and Donald Pleasance are soulmates across time. I don't know. Maybe he's really my father. I don't know.
Are you my papa?
We have the same foreheads.
I don't want to call you dad. Say it.
Say it.
Say it. Mate.
That's from Bloodsport. Mate.
Ryan Gillen, thanks, buddy. Says, I know it's not your cup of tea, Mike. So, Jay, do you think the Rings of Powers series will be any good? Rings of Power.
Is that the? I think he's talking about the Lord of the Rings.
There's an Amazon series.
I'm pretty sure. I hope so, man. Look, they've really mined the shit out of that Hobbit hole. I mean, goddamn, Elijah Wood's butt is getting tired, but I hope it's good, man. But I'm gonna give it a chance, but it's always a gamble when you do a TV show based on the popularity of those hugely successful movies. So, I mean, it could be watered down shit, or it could be really, really good TV. They need to hire. I was telling Mike before the stream started, and I told him during the Patreon, they need to hire that dude that did Spartacus and make it fucking like 300 slow-mo, Zack Snyder, blood, guts, cussing, fucking, that kind of shit. I mean, who doesn't want to see two hobbits going at it in the fucking jungles?
I thought that's what Lord of the Rings 2 was about.
No, there's
Sam and Frodo just banging.
They should have been fucking. I mean, they definitely were doing something on the side. But either way, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I hope it's good. I don't know. I mean, they did. Is it? You can look at like the Mandalorian is incredible with what Disney did with it, and they expanded Star Wars on the TV show. I mean, they did great, but I don't know. We'll see. It just depends on who they cast and the writers they get. So.
With Mr. Incredible Witkin Kniff, who just finds the man edible.
Yeah,
sorry,
I love
you said incredible. Got inside of my in my mind. I was listening to Eminem at the gym today.
Get inside you.
Now you're begging me to stay.
That song should be our theme. Mike and I say that like every fucking like other day or every other week. Get inside you.
Honestly, we could probably hire Adema right now. They're probably cheap.
Good. They're not doing anything right now. They're probably trying to sell underwear on the fucking New Jersey boardwalk. It's like, I don't even know where they're doing anymore.
He's Jonathan Davis. Together? He's the corn dude's little brother, so I'm sure they're fine. Yeah, and actually, I just saw like 6 months ago or something like that. They released like a new song. Like it was pretty good. Yeah, that's Corn Guy's little brother. Wow. Yeah.
I just thought he was some fucking douchebag surfer guy that got lucky with a big hit. I mean, I talk shit, but honestly, I mean, that Adema song, I mean, it was everywhere. It was a huge hit. Yeah. I mean, it was big.
They had a couple good songs. There was I'm trapped, infected by your touch. You're so unstable.
I don't know what that is.
That
You
was a
sound like
good
you
one.
were going. You sound like you were trying to go into like some AC/DC. Your nuts were getting squeezed.
It sounded like the
Big
it sounded,
God, number
yeah. It sounded like the Chipmunks version of the actual song.
Yeah, well, that dude, I never really thought he could sing, but I mean, it had a catchy. That song had a catchy beat.
He had great hair too.
Yeah,
Tyler
it did.
Rumfeld, thanks, buddy. He says, "Hey, fellas, I came as fast as I could. I always do.
Mhm.
But you know, at this age, the little soldier needs a little more pumping before he starts thumping." Love you.
Yeah,
I should have known.
understand
I tried to make that dirty, and I should have known it was going to be dirty anyway, Tyler.
Yeah.
I love your butt.
Everybody here has got the mentality of a 12-year-old. I love it.
Yeah.
He said, "Come." He came. He came late.
I've been to the top of the mountain, and it is good. Ben Wolf, thanks, buddy.
Sucks.
Cheers to Ben. Ben, cheers this. Cheers, Ben.
Hey, cheers, bud.
You fuck. Oh man, what are we here to do today? I forgot.
We're talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but before we get into that, I was just going to talk about. I was looking up the Tobe Hooper films. It's weird if you you type in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1974, and then you go it lists Tobe Hooper like all the Texas Chainsaw Massacres, and he didn't direct all of them, but it acts like he did. I don't know. That's just how the Google search result gives you. Like if you hit Tobe Hooper, or it just it's stupid. He was producer on all, but I forgot he directed Poltergeist.
Yeah, and maybe he didn't.
No, yeah. What if he didn't? That's why you sound like that asshole kid. It feels like if I was teaching a class and you're like, and that is why the Allies won World War II. It was like, yeah, but I don't think they did. It's like, you can shut your goddamn hole, you communist. But no,
I mean, technically, Steven Spielberg is rumored to have actually been the one to fucking direct
he wrote it.
Yeah, what do we know? Well, you never heard that rumor?
What?
That one. There's a big thing about Poltergeist that a bunch of people say that Spielberg let Tobe Hooper put his name on that film, but like Spielberg actually did all the directing. I don't know if it's true or not.
Well, that's a good friend. He's like, hey man, I'm gonna give you credit, and you're gonna get some money, but you ain't got to do shit. But no. Well,
it feels like a Spielberg film. I mean,
I know that Steven Spielberg did say that he wanted to make the ultimate haunted house story. I know that he wrote it, and it was pretty much his baby. But Tobe Hooper came in, and you know what I feel like? Tobe Hooper was like a chained dog, like a Rob Zombie type of guy, and Steven Spielberg was the owner of the dog pound, and he was like, "You're only going to go so far here, Toby. Okay, we're not going to have people eating people. There's none of that shit." And so he allowed him within a constraint to make the movie. But I don't know. Then he also did Salem's Lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then and the Funhouse, which I don't really remember the Funhouse.
I don't remember the Funhouse at all. I watched the Toolbox Murders, and I thought it was fucking awful, but that was a really long time ago.
Was Tim the Toolman Taylor in it?
Yeah.
Finally got out.
I can't. Is that right? Is that what he does?
Well, speaking of Tim Allen, you know that they're doing it? The Santa Claus. They're doing the Santa Claus TV show.
That's stupid.
Well, they're doing it.
Is he going to be in it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not so bad.
He's reprising his role. Well, he's not doing shit.
I thought they were going to hire like Vin Diesel or some shit. Like, you know, like I can show a soft side too. It's not about, it's about family. Santa Claus is about family.
Yeah, when some kid doesn't get what he wants, Vin Diesel would be like, "Almost had me. You didn't even have your presents." Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna be Tim Allen though, but I don't know. I won't watch it, but it's just interesting news.
Yeah.
I mean, I might watch it around the holidays. You know what's weird, dude? I got, for whatever reason, last week I was like, nonstop, dude. I watched like 3 different versions, and I know I'm late to the party. Welcome to the party, pal. But I watched a Christmas Carol, 3 different versions of it. I don't know why. I was just into the mood to watch it, but I watched I think the classic, and I know that everyone's not gonna agree, but George C. Scott, the 1984 Christmas Carol, the fucking best, hands down, one of the best tellings of all time. Of course, you got Scrooged with Bill Murray. That's great. I mean, that's awesome. But I'm talking about classic A Christmas Carol. George C. Scott's 84 is really good. Then I watched the one that came out in 2019, and they had Guy Pearce playing Ebenezer Scrooge, and it was fucking dark. It was a lot more detailed and quirky and weird. It wasn't bad. I was actually going to say we should review it. It was like a 2.5 hour movie. But it was pretty damn good. It was on FX in 2019. But it was kind of fucked up, dude, because it showed Ebenezer Scrooge. The whole story's kind of weird, but basically Ebenezer Scrooge in this version of that story, like, got Mrs. Cratchit to basically undress and act like he was gonna fuck her for money that she needed for Tiny Tim's surgery.
What a
And then he was
tease.
like, no, I'm not going to have sex with you. I just want to see how much your morals are worth, and you've proven it. And
now
I was like,
spread your butt cheeks and call me Sailor Jim.
but dude, Guy Pearce was bad. Dude, Guy Pearce is I think Guy Pearce is underrated. I really do. I think he's one of the best bad guy character actors out there. I think
like
he's
his
awesome.
face. I don't like his face.
Well, that's why he's so good. If you look at him in that one movie with Tom Hardy, Lawless, he was awesome as a bad guy.
Yeah, he just looks like Chester Cheetah to me.
He would be a good Chester the Molester.
Yeah, he would be a good Chester Cheetah. Teetersboro. He'd be a good Chester Cheater. For sure. I can't. Yeah, honestly, dude, that's weird that like you like that. I like the Christmas Carol, like the Scrooge, like all that. Like I'm like every time I've ever watched 5 seconds of it, I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
You never watched all.
Dad.
Scrooge is great with Bill Murray.
Any of them.
Well, because if you don't like the classic Charles Dickens, but Scrooge is updated like the early 90s. It was all about the 90s guy, and he's like a big asshole.
I don't know. It just always depressed me. Like is it the story that depresses me? I don't know. Maybe it's a weird like childhood thing I have.
It's about redemption, asshole. So you don't ever gonna be redeemed.
Why don't you redeem these nuts?
Okay. I will.
Did you disagree?
Yeah, I said okay. I will.
Is that a promise? You swear to God, dude?
It's not just a promise. I've already done it in the future. I'm just coming back in time to say I already did it. That's how much I mean it.
Did you learn about time travel? Watch all.
But yeah, but Toby Hooper, man, like it's weird. I'm not, I know everybody. By the way, I'm also going to bring this up in a second, but it's always weird. Everybody's talking about Toby Hooper and how much of a wonderful and he is a stellar director. But it's so weird for me. Like when I think of horror directors, for some reason, I never think of Toby Hooper. I always think of obviously the big ones as Wes Craven and John Carpenter and George Romero, but I never think of Toby Hooper. I don't know why.
Well, to be fair, I mean, he the resume says Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Poltergeist. So like those big directors, right? Like those are 2 pillars, right? You got to have like 2. I think like, Wes Craven has like 10, because he's got
John Carpenter.
John Carpenter has a bunch. I think you have to have several to be in that vein.
Well,
I think technically is, but like the Poltergeist thing is just, it has an asterisk next to it. I don't know.
He granddaddied obviously the Texas Chain. It was his thing. Toby Hooper, and then he did. I think he did Texas too. He did do Texas too. Yeah, but the thing about it is I think maybe it's just because I don't think that Leatherface. Well, it's the same thing. I can't think of the director that did Child's Play.
Mancini. Tom Holland.
No, who's the guy that wrote it? Don Mancini created.
Yeah, Mancini wrote it and created. I think a guy named Tom Holland. I think is the director. I think.
Spider-Man, damn, he's versatile.
I know,
but no.
But here's a little scary, dude.
Yeah. God, he's gonna be Nathan Drake, dude. I'm not like excited about that.
I'm not watching that.
I was watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's free on Prime with ads, and I saw a commercial, and he showed up as Nathan Drake, and I'm like, oh. It's like, is that kid cosplaying? Get that kid off the escalator.
He's literally playing Spider-Man, dude. He's the exact same.
I never would have thought.
Side.
Yeah.
They were like, the scene when he's in the plane and he's fighting the guy and the guy flies off. He's like, sorry, or whatever.
Yeah.
Someone showed like that scene in the game, and he was like, fuck you, dude. Like he was like mean and shit. And in this one, like they have him being all Spider-Man-y, and he's like, sorry. I was like, why? That was the worst casting choice.
Nathan Drake's a man's man. Like I don't know. I don't see Tom Holland as. I'm not saying that Tom Holland's a bad actor, but I just don't see him as playing Nathan fucking Drake, dude. Like Nathan Drake is like he's like the graduate. He's like right before you get your PhD and become Indiana Jones. So you got to be on that level of hot, sexy, rugged, but you know how to get shit done too. Like I would have, I would have cast because he was up for it for a little bit, or at least rumored. Chris Pratt was up for Indiana Jones at one point, or they had thought about casting Indiana Jones.
He would have been a good Indy, and who would have been a good Nathan Drake? I think maybe a little old, but Timothy Olyphant, I think would have been a good.
He would have been a good one. I would have gone. I would even go with Carl Urban.
Yes,
but he's all. But again, Carl Urban's got up there, and Carl Urban should have been fucking Batman. Let's be honest. Like after Ben Affleck. All right, that's always if you say who should be. You've got Ben Affleck, and Ben Affleck is an awesome Batman. Or if they said you get Ben Affleck or you get Carl Urban under the tutelage of Zack Snyder, who do you go with?
I still go with Ben Affleck. He was too good.
I can't help it, but I love Carl Urban.
Can't stop the Batfleck.
But okay, yeah. Speaking, but the old Toby. Another thing I was thinking of is when I was watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's strange, dude. I was thinking about this. Have you noticed that in all the big pillars, the upper echelons of the horror icons, you've got Hellraiser, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Child's Play even. I mean, I loathe to put that little bitch in there, but I will.
Little dangler.
They're all there. There's only been out of all of those franchises, one dude survivor, and that was in Freddy 2.
Yeah.
You got
no.
Kirsty Cotton.
Well, I mean, Andy technically from Child's Play.
Well, okay. That's why I said I loathe to put Child's Play in there. But okay,
Yeah.
you can take Andy, but he's a little kid. I'm talking about like a dude, like a man, like a guy, that's not like a 8-year-old. So you got, because then you could count in Nightmare 7, Nancy's son survived.
You know what? And I would do that. Like if I were making a slasher film today, dude, I would do that. I would hire a really likable lead. And it's not about man, women, obviously, nothing like that. But just to switch it up a little bit, because in horror, it's always the final girl. I would hire a really likable lead, right? Yeah. Have a scary bad guy, and then like have him survive, and then have them like go at it and create this fucking awful like tension, sexual tension.
Well, they did that with Nightmare. Well, they did that with Jesse in Nightmare 2.
But they didn't. I'm saying like, but from the start, and then like continue, like let him be Sydney, like you know what I mean. Let him be Jamie Lee.
Yeah,
you know,
because obviously it's like you got Kirsty Cotton from Hellraiser, Sydney. I forgot Scream. Sydney Prescott. You got Nancy from Nightmare. You got the Friday the 13th had all but I don't remember any dudes surviving Friday the 13th really as the main final guy. I don't think any of them did.
Both of us have mentioned several times that we thought that guy in the wheelchair should have been the final
dude,
guy,
and that brings me right to the titty of the point. I was gonna say I think that Franklin should have survived in this one in Texas. I like Franklin.
Franklin is the I hated fucking Franklin.
I like it.
Franklin had survived.
It goes back to the same thing. It won the Friday the 13th. The guy in the wheelchair. He got an awesome death. He got one of the more memorable deaths because he gets stabbed in the face and then sent down the steps. But I just think it would have been cool, like the guy in the wheelchair. No one would have seen that coming. No,
it would have been a surprise. But I wouldn't want to see a franchise with him. I was like happy when he.
I'm not saying he could have outwheeled old Leather if he was running, but still.
Well, now we're getting. Hang on. Now we're getting into the review a little bit here, so I want to make sure we catch up on this first before we get into it. But Maleficent. Jeremy Levin said, "I was just wondering if Dr. Loomis is still giving Michael goldfish, or did he get cut off?"
No, yeah, you know what happened? I kept giving him goldfish, and then I tried to slip a cyanide pill, and then the bastard caught it. So I've laid off for a little bit. Plus, it's expensive. I can't keep buying that asshole goldfish. I'm gonna get the knockoff brand. I call him Gold Bitch.
Prices are up on everything. It's inflation.
It's a goddamn inflation. I mean, I'm trying to keep this killer happy, and there's inflation. Fuck my ass with Jupiter's cock.
Jupiter's butt crack.
Hey, dude, I was gonna tell you, when you watch Spartacus, dude, you will start talking like that because they always say it's like, the gods have seen fit to split the heavens open and spit my ass, and Jupiter's cock rammed right through. That's how they talk. It's so fucked up. It's so
man, why are you always trying to tell me to fuck Jupiter, dude?
Oh, the gods fuck me again.
They call me Stamps. Were you used to be Anthony Stamps, or were you a different Stamps? He says, I know you're not into games, Mike, but if you get the chance, you should look up They Are Here. It's a really creepy game about aliens. I'm fucking sold. Is that on Game Pass? Because I have the attention span of a poodle. I might not buy it because I never finish any game I play, but there's this game on Game Pass called like EXO, and like I think it's called EXO.
It's like but it's a multiplayer.
No. This game, you're just a ball. You're just a little ball. And like you explore planets. You're an alien, but you're in a ball. And like you explore these planets, and like I don't know, it's fucking trippy as shit. I wish I smoked the weed. I would just smoke the shit out of weed all day.
I don't know. You can have a bad trip on something like that, though.
Yeah, that's true. I will try that. They call me Stamps. They Are Here. I'm gonna write the fuck down. Watch me. They are queer.
They are. Yeah, that's exactly what he said. Go ahead and type that in Google.
Yeah.
You'll get all sorts of good results.
I'm just looking for an excuse to watch my gay porn later without anybody knowing.
Like,
this guy told me it was an alien game. Leave me alone.
Tell your wife, Katie. It's like, what are you talking about? It's research for a video game. God, so what that the dude's slamming that dude in the ass like he owes him money.
I'm here. I'm queer. Stop by sometime for a beer.
Some good times.
Joshua Ayers, thanks, buddy. He says, what's up, guys? The gift I've been working on that I talked about with you and Katie is on the way to the bar. No, that I talked about with you and Katie on the way to the bar at Scarefest is almost ready. Sorry, Jay. Do you remember? I sort of remember. Didn't it involve like a deer?
No, it's a fucking goat.
It's a goat?
It's a goat skull.
It's a goat cock.
And I'm pretty sure it has.
Oh, well, I'm glad that I'm not involved in that conversation. I didn't want to.
No, because it's got Bible verses on it. So you were like all like,
yeah,
don't want that shit in my home.
You could take your shit back to hell with you. I don't want that. Okay. You can worship the devil in your own time, sir. I don't want to touch that.
Hey, Jay, do you notice how much he put on his super chat?
No.
$6.66. Joshua's got some
fucking devil.
He's got some dark nights.
It would be a dark night when the devil is done riding your ass like a donkey in hell.
Ben Wolf, thanks, buddy. He says the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre trailer was insane. Did you end up watching it?
I saw it on YouTube. I suggested. I didn't watch it though.
You should watch it. It's fucking weird. Way different than the first one. Like, it was weird as shit.
You know what's
like,
weird is Cody's into that. Like, he thinks it's a good idea with the whole old man Leatherface.
I love the new trailer, dude. It was fucking awesome. Like, he goes on a bus and there's actually someone's brought this up and I was like, you make a great point. They were like, finally, there's going to be a massacre in a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie because there's this bus full of guys and they're holding up a phone and like he's on Instagram Live and Leatherface is standing there with his chainsaw and the guy's like, try anything and you're canceled, bro. And then Leatherface rams his chainsaw into him and like pushes him up against the ceiling and then like kills everybody on the fucking bus.
I feel like the writers of this movie looked deeply into my mind and did what I wanted to do. When someone says you're canceled, bro, Instagram, bro, I'm on Facebook Live, bro. I got a whole bunch of followers, bro.
Some people hate
you and your followers, asshole. I'm not talking about your family.
The one thing though that someone brought up a really good point though, because Leatherface walks onto that bus and he's just like holding the chainsaw and like someone brought up a really good point. They're like the original Leatherface was scared shitless. Like we'll talk about when we do the review here in a minute. He was scared shitless. That's why he was acting out of fear. When you take Leatherface and you make him like I'm hunting people down like this badass unstoppable killer, it's kind of not the actual character. But who knows? Maybe he grew out of his fear and he's older now and he's ready to fuck shit up.
Maybe he's one of those people that was part of the riot at Golden Corral because they ran out of steak and he just pissed off at the world.
That shit was funny.
By the way, I was watching this guy and he was like, he's like, you know what? Those people that got into this big brawl at Golden Corral because they ran out of steak, you know what your prize is? The worst steak you've ever had in your life.
It's terrible.
like it's like you guys are fighting over a fucking E. coli stained steak.
You just know, but like the world that we're living in, there's inflation, times are hard, jobs, all that bullshit.
You might as well get a squeaky toy that looks like a steak and eat it because that's what you're going to get at Golden Corral.
And don't get me wrong, I respect Golden Corral, dude. Like, my wife fucking hates it, almost refuses to eat there, but I grew up being forced to fucking eat at Golden Corral like once a week. So I respect it. Like, I can go in there and get like 17 billion grams of protein in one sitting. You know what I mean? Like, you could just get nothing but meats just so you feel better about your $11. Like, I got ribs, I got steak, I put nacho cheese on everything. But I respect Golden Corral, but that shit is. Have you seen the people who eat at Golden Corral? And I'm not saying like everybody, but every time you go to Golden Corral, it's basically like you're at a My 600 Pound Life convention.
Well, that's what I was. That's the same guy that was talking. He was talking about the dude. He was like, this dude was so fat, he was just wearing overalls, and they were like nothing underneath. He's like, no, because he couldn't fit in any more clothes, and he's like, he put the whole chocolate fountain on his plate. and went back to his table. And he's like, I'm pretty sure, I don't know what that guy's doing now, but I'm pretty sure he's not above 6 feet. But the thing about it is like, I remember growing up and eating at buffets, but as I got older and I was like, God, I don't know how I didn't die. Cause like that sneeze guards doesn't do shit.
No.
Like, I mean, and you got little kids, that could reach in and just start sampling it and put the spoon back and then go to the next. And you're like, oh, fuck.
I've done a lot of shit that I used to do back before the pandemic again, but one of the things I've not done since the pandemic, since the first time I heard the words COVID-19, is eat at a motherfucking buffet.
I won't eat at a buffet.
That's one thing I haven't done.
I haven't been. I don't know when the last time I've ever been to a buffet. I don't think I'll ever do it again, ever.
Yeah, I will again. Don't get me wrong, I will, but maybe not now. I'm not quite ready for that yet. Jerry Ramey, thank you, dude. That's a sweet super chat, Jerry. You're a sexual son bitch, and I want to lick your ear. He says, if they reboot Halloween in a few years, who would you want to see as Loomis and Laurie? I think Michael Keaton is dark and talented enough to be Loomis. I like that. I can't hear you. You're muted. Your audio has become asunder. While Jay's figuring that out, I don't new Loomis and a new Laurie. I'll say this, Jerry. I don't want a new Laurie. I think that whatever we do, no more Laurie. No more Laurie. Like, I think Jamie Lee Curtis has earned the right to be the forever Laurie. And number two, and Scout Taylor Compton did a great job. But I just think the story should go somewhere else after this. I think they really just like buried the fucking head in on that whole Laurie Michael thing. Like by the end of this trilogy, I think you cannot come back. I think I heard you for a second there.
I got it.
Okay, you're back.
Yeah.
But so I'd say nobody plays Laurie again. But as far as Loomis, I think we did a whole video on it. There's a whole bunch of people. Viggo Mortensen, maybe, I don't know.
Viggo Mortensen would be amazing.
Who else did we talk about that could be a possible fucking Loomis, dude?
I think the guy, I never really thought about him until I don't know what I saw him in, but he's really old, but I think he could still pull it off. I'm
listening. I got
the dude from the bad guy in red. I can't, Mr. Smith from the Matrix. Hugo Weaving. I mean, they will never land Hugo Weaving, but I mean, if you got Hugo Weaving as Dr. Loomis, I think he could pull it off with very much gravitas that you need for that character. But then again, I say they couldn't land him, but then when the original Halloween came out, they were shocked as fuck that they got Donald Pleasance to come on board and do Dr. Loomis. So who knows? But yeah, I think Hugo Weaving would be really good. Viggo Mortensen, like Mike said, there's a literally, I know we did a whole video on it.
Halloween Returns had Gary Oldman doing it.
Gary Oldman would have been awesome. Gary Oldman would have been incredibly good. I always say, again, he's so like old, he couldn't. But if a few years ago, like maybe 10 years ago or 15 years ago, grabbing Anthony Hopkins would have been a fucking wet dream as Dr. Loomis. I mean, the guy that played Hannibal Lecter playing Dr. Loomis and counseling fucking Michael Myers would be amazing.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right about that.
But as far as Laurie Strode, if you did want to put Laurie Strode back in it, I would get that one chick from what was that movie where where the alligators were coming in?
Crawl.
Yeah, that main
girl.
I don't
know. I can't think of her name. I also like Samara Weaving. But no, I guess Laurie should be more like, I think an unknown for sure. I would definitely go with an unknown for Laurie. Like, look at what we like. Who's happy that Scout Taylor Compton got that role, because like she's fucking, I think she's awesome. I think she's underrated as an actress. And even though I hate I hate that second movie, I thought she was great in both Rob Zombie's movies.
Some people some people just don't like her at all.
Yeah. As Laurie Strode. I thought she did a great job. As long as you don't blame her for her character in H2, because Rob Zombie told her to be that. Yeah. She was the character was annoying, but I thought that Scout played it well,
What if you threw a fucking curveball, dude? And like, I know people would be like, no, I ain't into that, but I'm just saying, like, just throw a curveball and you got Brad Dourif to play Dr. Loomis.
That would be weird because he's already been Sheriff Brackett, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
I know, you just let it go. Just let it go, bitch.
Yeah.
Let it happen.
What I would like to see, though, I think whoever you get, the one thing I would not want if they ever did a Loomis is if someone did an impersonation. Like
they have to do their own.
Yeah, like the guy that they used for Halloween Kills, like he was a set designer or whatever, or set card. I can't remember what it was, but he did fine. Like, good for that guy. That's awesome that he looked like him and he got to do that role. But there's something about anytime you hear somebody try to do Loomis, like it doesn't sound right. Now, what you do is funny as fuck because you're not trying to copy him.
I was going to say, I'm sensing like an underhanded insult coming.
I swear to God, no.
I know what you mean. We do a parody account. It's a parody. It's not meant to be for real.
Yeah, no, when I see somebody actually try to, like, you're not trying to impersonate Loomis. You have like a DNA of Loomis, and then you add this extra layer of Super Cheeto asshole.
Yeah, I'm not doing a good job even doing a parody because apparently I sound like a German fucking asshole that's screaming at his troops.
No,
whatever.
Like, if you just tried to do straight up, it would be.
Thing about I don't. Well, that's what. Excuse you. God damn, she blew a butthole out with that sneeze.
Hey, you shut her up.
Yeah, I was like, shut up.
Pipe down over there.
Yeah, but that's what I respected. Sorry, I don't respect Malcolm McDowell at all in the second one, but the Malcolm McDowell in the first movie, he actually had never watched. He purposefully chose not to watch Donald Pleasance's performance so he could make his own interpretation. Yeah. So that was a smart idea.
Perfect.
Yeah, he was really good.
He was good. Once again,
No, what
Terrence
what they did with his character in the second one was fucking absolute garbage.
Terrence Stamp, not Malick, right? Terrence Stamp. Yeah,
Terrence
Malick's the
Stamp would have been
director.
awesome. Yeah, Terrence Stamp would have been great.
That was Terrence Stamp.
Malcolm McDowell.
Malcolm Fuck! What's wrong with me? Yeah, Malcolm McDowell. I still call him Terrence Stamp.
God damn,
Yeah.
dude. You finally, you know what? You actually, he goes, Zod? Oh, God.
That's who it was. Yeah. It kind of looks like him, though, doesn't he? Like,
Yeah, I know. But hey, that's a good
thing.
suggestion, man. Terrence Stamp, if he were back in his younger years, Terrence Stamp would have been an awesome fucking Loomis.
I was so concerned with not calling him Terrence Malick that I got all fucked up. But yeah, you're right. Like, once again, he was great as Loomis, but in H2 he was fucking awful. But that's because Rob Zombie told him to be fucking awful. But you know. Anyways,
Rob Zombie was on a wrecking fucking mission to destroy everything Halloween goodness in the second one. Really was. The best part of that movie, I swear to God, the first 25 minutes. Awesome. Holy shit. If they kept it in that hospital, dude, oh my God.
I know. And there's cool stuff in the movie. It's just like, but
well, the unicorn just kind of made me not appreciate the whole movie.
He made it impossible to fucking enjoy by shitting on the characters so much. Like, you're like, I want to like this, but I'm not allowed to because I fucking hate everything else. Like, it's like walking into a house full of like, you know, dead people and like, but there being like this awesome Xbox in the middle of it. And you're like, I want to play the Xbox, but I can't sit in this room with all these dead people. It's
and it smells like cat urine. But
yeah,
by the way, I was gonna say, I didn't
urine.
think about him, dude. Another good Loomis choice is the dude that played in he was up for the role of Cable, and he was in Avatar. He was Ike in Tombstone. He was in the Turkey Baster.
Stephen Lang.
Stephen Lang would be a really good
Turkey
doctor.
Baster. I'm on it.
Yeah, Stephen Lang would be an awesome Dr. Loomis, I think.
I think he'd do a good job. Yeah, for sure. Like, I don't know. Yeah,
shut up, Ike.
I don't see some weird shit like fucking John Turturro.
But every time I see
you're a criminal,
dude, I always think Ike. He was like, winner to the king, $500. Like, shut up, Ike. Law just don't go around here, law dog.
That Stephen Lang's an actor, by the way. Like, sometimes he doesn't look at all like himself, and then he's just like,
he's
you
awesome,
know, sometimes you're like, that's fucking Stephen Lang right there.
Yeah.
Jonathan Mann, thanks, buddy. He says, if you guys won the lottery, what would you do? Keep the channel?
I would get a dick enlargement. I mean, I would keep the channel.
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say.
I would buy Jay a dick enlargement, and then
I've got my own penis pump. Thank you very much.
Those things are scary.
Yeah. If we won the lottery, I would imagine that we would keep the channel, but then we would just be like not worried about like production at all. Like, be like, well, if we lose subscribers, fuck it, we've got a lot of money.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, it's like, hey man, you want to make a couple of videos today? It's like, nah. Like, it's like, I don't feel like it. It's like, all right, well, let's make something today. I was like, all right, well, I'll just roll over in my fucking PJs and not give a shit.
Yeah, or you would just like, for me, it would be the opposite. I would make videos, but I would just make videos wherever. Like, hey, dudes, I'm on the toilet. Y'all want to talk for a minute? Because I'm taking a shit. I'm kind of bored. You know what I mean? Like, shit that, like, yeah, if this ruins the algorithm on the channel, I don't give a fuck.
Maybe I would say the most canceling culture thing I could say, but like, I don't care. Like, fucking boot me off the platform, bitch. I got that.
I'm like,
I got that moolah.
Jay's reflections do not reflect mine.
No, I probably wouldn't. I would just say, I would just try to say some like fucked up things and see if what would happen. I mean, I don't know. I would just say something stupid.
Yeah, I fucked a shark.
Yeah, on top of a old lady with diabetes.
It's not very far.
And they're like, what?
It's not. Let's be honest. It's not very far from what we do now. Everything that we
it's true.
But...
We toe the line for sure.
Yeah,
we toe the line. We toe that bitch. Like, there's a line in the sand, and our toenails are always touching it. Like,
yeah.
Shh.
I was talking to my kid about that the other day. We were talking about people getting canceled. I was like, no, honey, we just haven't been canceled because we're not big enough for anybody to give a shit.
Yeah, we've been flying under the radar. Incognito.
People have tried, but everybody was like, I don't care. They'd be like, we're going to cancel these fucks.
Yeah,
let's
like,
sign a petition. And we were like, okay. And then nobody cared.
The woke brigade came over Mount Vesuvius at us, and they were like, yes, another YouTube channel to cancel. Who are they? Two assholes from Kentucky. Men, we've been fooled. Back to where we came. They're not worth our time. I've seen their content. They'll destroy themselves in no time. We don't need to cancel them. Their wives and girlfriends have canceled them.
Let us watch them burn slowly in their own right.
Come now, be gay with Father and I.
Eduardo Santiago, my friend, thank you very much for the super chat. Says, have you guys seen Max Landis's pitch for the All-Star Horror? Speaking of people being canceled, Max Landis's pitch for the All-Star Horror Icons movie he wanted to do. It was weird. It's a sequel to Freddy vs. Jason where he throws every horror icon in it. I mean, Eduardo, that Max Landis dude's a fucking hack who skates on his father's dime, you know?
Max
But
Landis. What did he do?
yeah, he's the son of the dude who did fucking
John
American
Landis.
Werewolf. Max is his son. Max is his
Oh,
son
I don't even know.
who's done
I
a
didn't
whole
even know he
bunch
had a
of.
son.
Yeah, what has he done? I always forget what the fuck that guy's actually done other than getting in trouble for sexually assaulting women. I'm trying to figure out what is this fucking
Max Landis, you
Max.
fucking minx, you.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
I hope I got the right. Yeah, this looks like a douchebag. Yeah, this looks like it's probably him. He did. He wrote the movie Bright on Netflix. He was the writer on Chronicle, which was okay.
That's a great movie.
And
But that was more
other than
trank,
that,
though.
yeah, but this guy apparently is like an all world class douchehole. So I did not.
There's
hear
not enough
about
of those
that,
to go around.
Eduardo, but we've always said the same thing. I think that the minute you put horror icons in like a face-off situation, it's over with. You know, like that's why you didn't see shit after Freddy vs. Jason for like a long time.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I don't know anything about Max Landis. I just knew John Landis. That's all I knew his dad. I didn't even know he had a fucking kid. I thought that guy was just making badass stuff and he didn't have time to procreate.
I don't know why. I just know that he's apparently a super twat.
Was they proven that he did all that shit, like the sexual assault and stuff?
I have no idea.
Is he R. Kelly? Does he pee on girls?
I don't know. I forget. It all in the world that we live
Hollywood's
in.
fucked up. I swear to God, man.
Yeah.
What they allow in that shithole is so crazy. It's like an overflowing toilet that no one knows how to flush.
Yeah, I think he was trying to bring it back. Everybody's like, "Hey, we're gonna move away from all this." He's like, "No, bring it back." He's like, it's like in Clerks.
I'll make it cool again. I'll make it cool again.
Yeah, in Clerks 2, when he's like, "I'm gonna bring the PM word back." Yeah, he's like, "I'm gonna bring it back." And someone's like, "Man, you can't say that." He's like, "Why? I'm bringing it back.
It's cool. I'm bringing it back. It's cool." Because don't worry, my mother used to say it all the time.
Max Landis trying to do that with sexual assault. I believe and I hope to God I'm getting the right person because like I just. I think that's the same guy though. Yeah, I think there's a bunch of stories about him. Kitty Dog Diamond says, I remember watching Texas Chainsaw back in 2018. Yo, you haven't seen the trailer, dude. So literally, oh my God, you have to watch the trailer. Literally, in the middle of the fucking movie trailer, dude, this woman who looks kind of like Dog the Bounty Hunter shows up, and she's Sally Hardesty from the original. She's not the same actress. She died in like 2014, but they brought back the character of Sally Hardesty.
She's Sally.
Yeah, she's playing Sally, and she's real old, and she's like, for 50 years I've waited for this night.
Oh my God, are they trying to do Jamie Lee Curtis?
Yes, they are.
Oh!
Like, straight up,
I just died of fucking cringe.
Yeah, straight fucking
like,
up.
No.
And I'm excited.
No.
Like, I think the movie's going to be fun. I actually have no idea what to expect from the movie. This trailer, aside from that, I was really excited to watch the movie after I watched the trailer because it looks like it's gonna have some fun wackadoo shit in it. But that I was like, ooh.
I felt like that lady in Get Out when you started saying, I was like, no.
It does, dude. It's so bad. Like just watching the trailer, I was like, that's Laurie Strode.
You want to say no? Hassan is an asshole. What did you call me?
What did you call me?
It's funny because I'll bet you they well, that guy's dead on then. He's like, they watched Halloween 2018. It's like, hey, let's copy the same fucking story and do the same thing.
They're literally doing a requel. Yeah, it's fucking insane. I almost wonder. I have a feeling that we'll find out.
We're not going to get the director on the show ever, by the way.
Oh, no.
Just because we said that.
They did that in reshoots. Like they saw the movie and they're like, it's a big old piece of shit. You know what we need to do? Let's get a Jamie Lee Curtis. Joshua Ayers.
You know what? I feel like the 2013 remake was so goddamn good with the sexy, greatest looking ass I've ever seen in my life in jeans, Jessica Biel. They should have just made sequels to that and had Jessica Biel come back. That's what they should have done, Captain.
I'm actually you so that nobody else does.
What?
It's 2003. You said 2003.
I mean 2003. Yeah. I'm talking about how many times I came. 13. When I saw it.
Who didn't? Right?
I got confused. But yeah, 2003. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fucking amazing. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. But this could be an H2 situation. Like with this one. That's what I'm thinking. Like, it's so weird. Leatherface's mask is brand new and it's all like fucking droopy and shit.
Yes, he got a fresh kill.
Dude, you'll laugh your ass off.
Apparently he got a fresh kill that was somebody with a stroke. Because it's all droopy.
You laugh your ass off when you watch the trailer though, because like, dude, there's just like these sunflowers, and like he just pops up out of the thing, and he looks like he was taking a dump, and he saw somebody. You
Yeah.
gotta watch the trailer; it's fucking hilarious.
The
but
weird thing is, like with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, for me, is I've always felt like I've always gotten disappointed in every fucking sequel or try to a reimagining they've done, except for the 2003 one. I always feel like it's that one hot girl that always says, "But you think you have a chance with," and she's gonna meet you at Olive Garden. She always stands you up, and you already ordered multiple breadsticks, and then you're just stuck with the bill.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
fair.
But
Yeah,
I just felt like, dude, you know what really turned me off was when we went to the theater, dude. And I gave it all the chance in the world. We went to see the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and was like, "Get your chainsaw, cousin." I'm like,
3D, I think it was. I think it
yeah,
was 3D.
it was like if Superman got shot with a kryptonite bullet, it
Yeah.
hurt, and it never went away.
Yeah, you got deep fried and double.
It was so fucking bad, dude. Oh my god! And then that remake they did on Netflix when they did the prequel.
It went on Netflix, but it was like straight to VOD. It was Leatherface.
That
sucked.
Yeah, I was like, no, come on.
And by the way, just so you guys know how we're going to be doing this, like, because Jay and I talked about it, I was like, all right, which ones do you want to do, Jay? And Jay was like, I want to do the original, and I want to do the remake.
Yeah, the original and the crispy. Original recipe and the crispy chicken. That's all. So that's the other ones.
Yeah, and that's what we're doing tonight. So tonight we're reviewing the original one. We'll take our break before we actually get into it. The second half of the show, we'll do the actual review. But tonight we're doing the original one, and then in between, I'm going to do the other ones. I've seen them all. I think almost all of them.
Well, yeah. The Next Generation. You know, I haven't seen that in a while. The one with Matthew McConaughey. That'll probably be fun though.
I watched that like 6 months ago and actually thought it was fucking scary as fuck. Like
somebody
scary,
said,
just like
see, I remember renting it. When I was a kid, I rented it and it was just fucking, you know, it was a cross-dressing kind of like Leatherface. And I remember watching, I was like, this isn't fucking, what the fuck is this? It was weird, and then I was like, because I mean, back when it came out, Matthew McConaughey was not like the big superstar stud that he is now. Like he was still just kind of like, you know, struggling. So I never really gave a shit about it. But over time, I guess it's one of those movies that grows on you. It's the same thing with Texas 2. For me, when I watched Texas 2 the first time, I fucking thought it sucked. I was like, this is stupid. I didn't like it at all. Okay, you know why? Because I didn't get the humor until later on when I got older, and I was like, I get what they're doing. That was really good.
Well, see, I think I watched Texas 2, but I can't remember how I felt. But I think we reviewed it a long time ago.
We did.
And I don't like all I know is that looking back on it now, I feel like I didn't like it. I don't remember, but I feel like I didn't like it. So I'm going to watch it soon, but I didn't. I don't know.
You see how I'm doing this? I'm trying to show my Ghostbusters symbol like I'm Jean-Claude Van Damme in Street Fighter.
Hey.
Guile.
Josh, he did 665 this time. He's not trying to be blasphemous. He says, Katie knows what's up. Much respect. And that's why I'm pre-apologizing, Jay. Still love you, brother. I pre-stuff all the time.
Nomenos patre, macaroni and cheese. Satan be with you, but not with me.
Dark Knights of Texas.
You don't have to apologize, man. It's fine. Just keep your black magic away from me.
Speaking of black magic, Dark Light says the little kids were sticking their hands and tongue in the chocolate fountain at Golden Corral in Arizona. Don't go.
God, dude, I could see it too. You walk in, that's the first fucking thing you see. Oh my Lord.
Surely dark.
But you know, if you're drunk or high, you're like, I don't care. I'm just not gonna have the chocolate fountain.
I never cared at all before COVID. I was like, I'll lick that shit too. Hey, kid, move.
You nasty.
Put some shit. Holly Roxy said that her kid, she loves Golden Corral. Actually cried when they closed it. I get that because if
some
your
people
kid,
do like it a lot.
Dude, the sweets buffet is where it was at. My favorite, they have those little fudge brownies, but they're actually like made fudge and they put the fudge stuff on top of it. Mm-hmm. You can make your own soft serve ice cream. You could put gummy bears in that fucking ice cream, which tasted like shit, but for some reason I always got excited to do it. The sweets was where it was at. You can get,
or you could just go, you go to Baskin 31.
Yeah, I know.
Make it.
I know, but like, you know,
do they have Baskin? Is Baskin 31 still around, or did they close?
I think they're still around.
Marble Slab. Remember Marble Slab? I don't know if they're still around. I don't think
Graders is still around. Like Baskin 31 it's kind of like the McDonald's of like, I don't know.
I only ate there like twice. I remember going to Marble Slab a couple of times. Well, the thing about Golden Corral, you know what I remember? I remember like being, because your dad managed it.
Yeah.
The one we had in Kentucky. I'm not gonna tell you where. Well, the town that we used to.
He managed like a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, but the one I remember, because I used to have a swimming pool. If we swam and shit, and then we would go to Golden Corral. Now that's where it was, because you know when you're swimming and you're like
hungry as fuck.
you're hungry as fuck.
Yeah.
And then they're like, all you can eat buffet. You're like, goddamn
man.
hungry hippo, bitch.
Yeah.
You're fucking trying to grab all of it. You don't give a shit how many boogers are on it or snot or hair.
No.
You're like, that's all that does is add spices.
Didn't even cross your mind, dude. You just grab shit.
Well, I mean, when you're a kid, you don't think about it because there used to be a place in where I live. I think you know this place, dude. It was fucking gross, and I think back to it like PTSD.
Talking about the Kentucky Diner?
Kentucky Diner, dude.
Yeah,
and mom used to drag us there, and sometimes we would eat, and I was like, God. And there was this pink sludge shit slime thing that she would, because mom would make our plate for us.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it was. There was like marshmallows in it, and it was like pink slime from Ghostbusters 2. And like some other weird shit, and I would eat it. I'm like, that's pretty good. I was probably eating like the filling of the meat that they use at McDonald's.
That building has been condemned like 8 times, and they keep just
I know, dude. We probably ate roaches that were deep fried in fucking egg rolls.
Thankfully, we didn't eat
like,
there.
You get egg rolls at Kentucky Diner.
Yeah,
and they're not an Asian restaurant. It wasn't an Asian restaurant. It was literally you could get every fucking thing under the sun. They'd be like, "Hey, you want some curry?" Let's throw that bitch on that fucking plate.
Hey, you know what I weirdly like though? When I go to Chinese buffets, which I haven't been to one of those in forever either, but when I go to a Chinese buffet, I like to eat the American food at the Chinese buffet. I don't know why, but I'll eat their pizza, and they're like, no, I just like I'll go in there and be like, hey, I like y'all's pizza. There's something weird about it, like, you know, it's like
I don't trust it, dude. I watched this. There's a guy on YouTube called Randy Santel, and he does all these food challenges. You know, there's one that he did, and he went to an Asian restaurant. And I think it was a buffet. But the thing is, if you eat this giant plate of Chinese food, it was like all different types of General Tao chicken and all different types of that kind of chicken. If you eat that, you get like $1,000 fucking dollars or $500 if you finish it all under an hour or in an hour.
Man,
but dude,
so sick.
I was just thinking to myself, here's the thing. It looked good as fuck, and he was eating it. The thing that would cross my mind immediately, though, I was like, is this real fucking meat? Like, if I was halfway through it and then something dark would come over my thoughts and I would be eating it and be like, I was like, did somebody look up the Yelp review before we came in here?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
what if this is like
there was an Asian restaurant in our town that got they got like fined and closed for a while because they were using fucking weasel meat or some shit.
No, dude, we saw fucking roaches on the wall at that place. It was the big, nice looking place with like a fountain, and they had a giant fucking fish tank and shit. We ate there one time and saw fucking roaches going up the wall. We're like, no, we're good.
Dude, but they were caught using it wasn't dog or cat, but it was roadkill. They were using fucking roadkill to make their food, and they got closed down for like 6 months. And I was trying to go through my brain. I was like, did I eat there in the last? I was like, I probably did.
Jesus Christ, I'm getting sick right now because I ate there like
dude, that's the first thing, you know. And I'm not saying that Asian food or anything like that has that, but that thought will come into my mind if I'm doing a challenge, and the first thing that's gonna pop into my mind is because of my own experiences with that news story hitting me, and then be like, dude, what if I'm eating fucking roadkill meat? Yeah, and then it's not because I'm full and I'm vomiting and I got food poisoning because I'm eating fucking weasel.
I don't like it.
I'm eating like ferret.
I think weasel or ferret would be the last meat that someone would substitute because there's not a whole lot of meat on a weasel. Like if you were gonna like use a weasel meat in place of like chicken, you would have had to just like randomly come up across like a whole nest of weasels. Like
possums. Then I mean, big giant possum.
Possum is probably where it was at. You could probably get like 7 to 10 chicken wings out of a single possum meal.
You know, funny is when I was doing that. Chaz like, oh yeah, I just got to the possum meat. This tastes like possum. It's like I've eaten possum before.
Tastes like chicken. All right, let's catch up these super chats before we get to a break. And when we come back, I promise we'll talk about Texas Chainsaw. Technically, we are talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, this is all this is what the family does.
Yeah, they call me Stamp says the full name of the game is They Are Here Alien Abduction. Jeez, like now I gotta add to the Alien Abduction. Okay, They Are Here Alien Abduction horror. It's just a demo though, and I think it's on Steam. Oh, it's done on like Xbox. Fuck.
It's on PC, man.
That sounds awesome. Aliens fucking freak the shit out of me, dude.
Mike's got a fancy computer though. He could run the games on there.
I could try.
No, dude.
Yours would too. Yours would too. Yours would run.
Nah, mine ain't gonna do it. Mine ain't gonna do it. No, it might. It might.
It'll do it. I used to
Well,
play
it's
games
too
on that.
fucking it's too bad that I started my Star Trek Online with my console, okay? Because I enjoy a remote control in my hands while I jack off and play on my fucking chair.
Oh, I didn't
I don't want
realize
to sit at my computer going be like, oh. By the way, I know you could use like fucking, you know, the remote control when you're playing PC, but it's always, you know, mouse and keyboard, and I can't do
Yeah.
that.
I've never played a game on my computer. Well, not
I
since
tried
like
to
the olden times.
when Star Trek Online came out. I actually did. I tried to learn it, and it's WS something else. When you, I couldn't fucking. I was like, nah, man, I don't want to do this. Like, this sucks. I can't do this.
Yeah. I said people are talking about stabbing each other in the vagina. I'm very confused.
What? What do
I
you
don't
all
know
do?
what's
This
going
isn't
on.
prison. We're not in
Are
San
you guys
Quentin.
being serious, or are you joking? Jerry Ramey, thanks, buddy. Says, yeah, no more Lori. They should adopt the Halloween Night Dance comic. Yeah, I say like that Lori story has been told into the goddamn dirt and then stepped on twice and then made into food and then shit out and then turned into dirt again. I don't know where
And
I'm
then a
going with
hobo
this,
peed
but
on it and then ate
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But well, yeah,
We don't
Laurie
need it
Strode.
anymore.
I think the story's been told. Yeah, I would move on from her too. I mean, I'm just saying. All I said was like, if you're gonna put her in there, because that's how studios roll, man. They're like, oh, what was the really popular? Oh, it was Laurie Strode.
Oh, I
So we got to
guarantee they
recast
will.
Laurie Strode. We have to
Yeah.
recast Laurie Strode. You're like, why don't we just do something cool? Why don't we like cast the character of Josh Hartnett? I don't know, like do the son of Laurie Strode. I
I
don't
would
know.
love that. I would love that. Stacey James says Nick Nolte is Loomis. He could probably
First off, he couldn't find himself, much alone Michael Myers. Find Nick Nolte.
You're thinking Gary Busey.
Gary Busey, yeah, Gary Busey.
I get him confused all the fucking time though. That's why I knew. Like
yeah,
I
every time
always
I think
get
of Nick Nolte though, you know what he would do? He would give a speech to the police station when he was trying to convince them to go after Michael, and he was like, "I worked with another police station, and those boys gave their heart, but it wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough for me. It wasn't good enough for you." Remember Blue Chips? He would do his Blue Chip speech.
Yeah, I think of
Blue
Chips. I think of Blue Chips and Warrior, where he's like, "The goddamn ship is back."
We gotta stop it, Tommy. Stop the sap. Stop it.
Oh, fuck.
We're lost. Oh, we're lost.
You godless bastards.
Yeah, dude, he felt like he was fucking choking. He's like, you and your fucking cup. Fucking cup, take upstairs, your beggar's cup, walking around your
It's
fucking
so fucked up that we get such a laugh out of that because he was going through like a mental breakdown and he was drunk for the first time in like a long time, and he's listening to his tape player. If you guys haven't seen Warrior, he's listening to his tape player and he likes to listen to these pirate stories on his thing, and he's drunk and he's like, "You godless bastards!"
I like how he's like, and by the way, one of his son's name is Tommy, so it could be Tommy Wallace that survived Halloween. He was like, "We're all lost, Tommy. We're lost, Tommy."
That's so fucked up. Josh Nitsch says there's a lot of controversy surrounding Don't Breathe 2. I enjoyed it. What did you guys think? I thought that, I'm sorry to disagree with you, Josh. I thought the movie was fine, but I just thought it was so stupid, like to take this guy and make him all like fucking heartfelt, like superhero guy. And I just thought that what was scary about Don't Breathe was that you didn't know. And then once you knew, it was like, okay, but then they were at the end of the story. In this movie, you knew, so like all the mystery was gone from it, and it was just like fucking Taken 4. You know, I didn't enjoy it.
I never watched it. I read enough of the reviews on it though, and yeah, that was the main issue I had with that. First off, I don't think Don't Breathe. I don't think it needed a sequel. I think it was a good enough standalone movie that it could, you know, it needed to be by itself and not have anything added to it. And then when you're gonna play this confusing, are you cheering for the bad guy or are you not cheering for the bad guy? I'm going to try to make him a conundrum. That's fucking dumb. The guy was clearly evil. He was a fucked up, weird guy that, you know, that the first movie, they established that pretty well. And then they try to make him like, I don't know, like fucking the Book of Eli. Like he was trying to like be, I don't know. It was just dumb. I hate when they do that with characters. They're like, yeah, but he's really popular. So we kind of need to make him kind of relatable. I was like, no, you don't. The only time that worked when they did it with Arnie in Terminator, because they made him a good guy in Terminator 2.
And plus he's a robot, so his programming
so they can do whatever
you're just looking at his it's not like he made those decisions. But
and the T800 itself, the Cyber 9, they're still bad guys. It's just they captured one and reprogrammed it.
Yeah, it's just skin, Steven.
It's skin.
Ben Wolf says, I don't know about you guys, but Halloween 4 is high on my Halloween list. I
Mm.
think we've ranked it. I think Halloween 4 in most cases is 2 or 3 for us. It's way fucking up there.
Yeah, dude. Like that's a bullet point with cum next to it because we jack off to it all the time.
that's an audio vid.
Yeah,
I can't get it out of my
you guys think about that for a while. I got to go pee soon, but I'm gonna wait till the 1 hour mark and then I'll go.
All right. Ryan Gillen, thanks, buddy. He says, come on, guys, play with the big boys. Man versus movie with Texas Chainsaw series. We haven't done a man versus movie in a long time.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's really. You say play with the big boys, dude. We went with fucking. We took on the Titans and wrestled them and took over Mount Olympus. We did Wrong Turn.
Yeah,
that was a fucking nightmares. That was holy shit, dude. You could see us getting more and more depressed as time went on. Like that was a really rough one, dude.
And I would love to if the schedule would have worked out for it, Texas Chainsaw would have been a great man versus movie. The only problem is that we can't even get the same room, dude, because we got an ice storm hitting tomorrow. Like
COVID.
One of us is always within an arm's reach of fucking COVID. There's always some goddamn natural disaster or some shit happening.
Got wives and girlfriends that always want to have fucking sex with us that we can never satisfy them.
And random chicks at Walmart, man.
They're just constantly clawing at our wieners.
Can't even go
like,
nowhere,
come have
dude.
sex with me. I was like, no. Stop it. You know I'm not good enough for you. Like, and the reality is we just go too fast.
Hit 100,000 subs, dude. Just can't go anywhere.
Yeah. I know.
Go to Walmart. The waitress at the Piggly Wigglies. Give me the freaky eye.
Give me that stink eye. Maybe I'll just slap my cum all over them flapping titties.
I'll snorkel them sons of bitches. Peter Meekin, thanks, buddy. He says, really appreciate that. He says, hey guys, hope you all are doing well. It's been a shitty day. Just wondering if you guys would join me in a toast our family dog, Arene. I don't want to say it wrong. Arine. Arene. Would you say Arene or Arine? Arene sounds right. Arene, maybe sounds good. Passed away today. He was only 8 years old. Never been this heartbroken in a very long time. Hey,
I'm sorry about that, man. Yeah, dogs are way more than we deserve as human beings. That's for sure. That's your best friend.
Well said, dude. To Peter and his family and his dog.
But you know, the good news is that dog knew that you loved him or loved her.
Yeah.
I don't know if you didn't have the gender, but that's the best part about it. I spoil the fuck out of my dog, dude, because I was always mom always says, she's like, oh honey, they're not here for long. You just let them live. You just let them have whatever the fuck they want. I'm like, I will, mom. She didn't say fuck because she was a Christian. She said something else, but I was like, yeah, I will. I won't give him chocolate because that'll kill him.
Yeah. Well, we're one of our dogs, Dexter, we took him to because he's been having, you guys have heard it in the videos, like the wheeze that he does. We took him to the vet and they're like, yeah, he's got a thing that Cocker Spaniels have. He has like an enlarged heart. And they're like, he could die tomorrow. He could die in 6 months, but they're like, there's not even anything to do. Give him this medicine, make him happy. Yeah. And then, whatever. But thing is, Peter, I was thinking about this when I was thinking about that. The beautiful thing about dogs is, and one of the advantages that they have of being a dog is that they don't know that they're mortal. I don't think, you know what I mean? Like they don't have a sense of their mortality. Yeah, like they have no idea that they're going to die someday, so they don't have to fear death, and that's almost like a peaceful thing,
Well, yeah, and dogs are cool, man, because like even when dogs are dying, or when they're on the last step for this world, they're more concerned about their owners than they are about themselves.
Yeah. So,
and by the way, I do believe that dogs go to heaven, so I don't give a fuck if you believe that or not. I hope you do. I'm not saying you specifically. I'm just saying people generally. But I think that if you believe that, hey, when you get up to heaven, man, your dog will see you again. So that's a good thought to have.
They're the sweetest creatures on earth. They fucking better. You know what I mean?
Like I said, we don't deserve them. We don't. Mankind does not deserve that kind of loyalty at all. Because those motherfuckers, like I farted on my dog today, and it didn't scold me. Didn't get mad. I didn't mean to do it. I just farted and it went, whatever. I still love you. It's fine.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that, Peter, man. We love you. Sorry you had a rough week. Let's see you guys, man.
Cheers, Peter. I mean, not cheers, but I'm sorry about it.
Go pee. So pee then.
Pee. On that note, I'm gonna go pee.
So pee then.
I will. I'm
Pass
going.
through, Logan.
I will.
Get out of my face. Go. Will McSwain, thanks, buddy. He says, what's the deal on Revenge of the Action movie? Any new energy to get back into that foxhole? Yeah, Will. God, you're a handsome son of a bitch. You look like Superman had sex with the lead singer of Jimmy Eat World and also read a book. I don't know what it is about your little icon there. I can't really get a hold of you, but I'm having a hard time not looking at you now, Will. But the point is that We recorded a Revenge of the Action movie for Hard Target, and it's on my computer beans, and we have it, and it's ready to go. It's not ready to go; it just needs to be edited. Just having trouble. I want to get, and like I told you guys before, we haven't been able to be in the same room because of one fucking thing or another. You know, in weeks. You know, it's not because I don't want to. It's just because fucking COVID and weather, but. So I want to get a couple of those filmed before I put one out because I really don't want it. Those take so many hours editing, that I want it to be good. And then I also want to have a schedule for it because we don't have a lot of content going on to that. So that's the reason you haven't seen that yet, but it's there. It will come out. And I just want to we're going to do Lionheart next after that one. And then a couple of Patreons requested someone requested Casino Royale. Someone on Patreon requested Braveheart. So I just want to make sure that like when we do it, like we have a set schedule and don't do one and then don't have one for a couple months. So once we get a couple under the belt, you will see that coming out. It's still coming, I promise you, my friend. But great question, and you're handsome. Jerry Ramey, thanks, buddy. He says, did you see the Amityville 5 remake? The close shotgun scene and ghost bleeding behind the dad, the only horror movie to traumatize me as an adult. Hey, dude, the fucking Amityville horror remake was badass. All right, that was a great goddamn movie. Like that, it had its problems or whatever, but it had some freaky ass shit in there. The hot babysitter getting freaked out in the closet, Ryan Reynolds soaking wet, wearing thin pajamas and a white t-shirt. Just a lot of stuff to really enjoy about that movie. Did I say that out loud? No, like it's maybe the handsomest Ryan Reynolds has ever been, and it's just a really good horror movie. And I like the shit out of the Amityville horror remake. I think it's right up there with any of them. I really do. One of those underrated 2000s remakes, just like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You think, okay, mid 2000s, it was a remake, it was a schlocky Platinum Dunes bullshit. But when you go watch it, you got to be like, pretty goddamn good. You know what I mean? I would rather watch that kind of movie any day than a Conjuring 12 spinoff that we're getting now these days. I kind of missed the 2000s in that regard. Like Hills Have Eyes. How fucked up and mean was that movie? D Mitch 14, thanks, buddy. Says thoughts on Stay Alive with Frankie Muniz. Have never seen it, dude. I'm 99% sure Jay hasn't either. So I wish I could give you my thoughts on it, but I haven't seen it. But I want to now. I do. I really do. We are getting caught up now. I think we are all the way caught up with those two. But Bernie says, yo, Mike, talk about Mayor Kingstown. Mayor Kingstown, Jeremy Renner just got renewed. If you haven't seen that shit, watch it. One season's already out. It's all the way. It's on Paramount or Peacock, one of those fucking things. Same dude who did Yellowstone. It's nice if you want like a dark atmosphere to just like, maybe have a couple whiskey drinks and just like sit in a dark atmosphere where people's lives are more fucked up than yours are. And they somehow seem to deal with it. It's a nice show for something like that. Kind of like The Sopranos used to make you feel a little bit fucked up show, though. Some gnarly shit happens in it, but it's good. It's really good. Watch Mayor Kingstown if you guys get a chance. And if you like Jeremy Renner, it's one of his better roles. Holly agrees with me on Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, it's absolutely true. Absolutely fucking true. What is your all's favorite 2000s remake, though? Maybe no Texas Chainsaw Massacre remakes. I feel like that's going to be the main answer. But you had Amityville, you had The Hills Have Eyes, you had all these movies in there. What would be your favorite non-heinous, non-Texas Chainsaw Massacre? I think I might go with Amityville, but I also might go with High Tension. That was a fucking underrated, scary ass movie, and I believe it was a remake of a French film. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty goddamn sure. TYI, thanks, buddy. He says, what do you guys think of a Halloween movie where Michael goes to the worst prison in the U.S. and plot twist, he has a nephew we didn't know about that works there? I don't know if I want to watch Michael Myers like defend himself from getting butt fucked in a prison. And plus, he'd have to have his mask off the whole time, unless you live in Halloween 5 land where they just magically let serial killers wear their masks behind bars. I think the only way to do Michael in prison is what they did with Halloween Returns, where his face is shadowed, but he's on death row, so he's only there for a minute before he breaks out and murders everybody. One of my biggest things for Halloween that I'd like to see, and I know this sounds kind of fucking weird and out there and fucked up, but I'd love a Halloween 9, all right? A follow-up to Halloween 8 where Michael Myers is supposedly dead. You open the movie up with a gigantic action set piece, okay? Michael Myers' eyes open in the morgue. The entire beginning of the movie, like a 30-minute action set piece. His eyes open the morgue. He starts to kill people. The morgue gets locked down. The FBI, like a fucking SWAT team, goddamn shows up. I know this sounds very Jason Goes to Hell, but you make it scary. Michael goes on a little bit of a rampage. Eventually, they kill him for real. He pretends he's dead again. But then, you guys ever seen that movie, The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford? Pretty sure I said that wrong. Where they carry Jesse James's body around from church to church so that all these people who he committed crimes to can see his dead body like a museum piece. I think if they did that with Michael Myers to Haddonfield, like this guy's fucking put rage on us for 9 goddamn movies now, and then they put him there so the whole town could come and see because they thought he was dead. And then the Cult of Thorns shows the fuck back up and somehow reignites his fucking Spice Girls power. And then they lock the doors to the church with the whole town of Halloween inside of it, of Haddonfield inside of it. Yeah. Fucking wild.
Ginger. By the way, are you talking about the assassination of
Robert Ford by the coward Jesse James?
Yeah. Are you talking about that when they parade his body around? That's a great fucking movie, dude.
It is a great fucking movie.
It's a long ass movie, but it's really good. Colin Farrell, not Colin Farrell. What's his brother's name? Not. I'm thinking of somebody else.
Brad Pitt and
Casey Affleck. It's
Casey
such
Affleck,
a little bitch bastard. He's like Patrick Mahomes' little brother.
Yeah. I by the way, I asked people what their favorite 2000s horror remake was, and there's some good ones, dude. Like obviously we think Texas Chainsaw Massacre, think Amityville Horror, got a lot of House of Wax, Friday the 13th.
I'll throw out some controversial there. I mean, I think that Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake is the best remake of any of them.
I said you can't say that one though, because I thought a lot of people said so. Other than that one, because that would be
I would throw. You know, Friday the 13th.
Friday 13th. I said High Tension maybe, but also Amityville was good. And then there's Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead was great.
Oh, dude, God, I got to give some love to Snyder. I might throw it that way.
JT Custom said Maniac. That's the one with Elijah Wood in it. That was pretty good. All right, I'm gonna go pee. I'll be right back.
Okay. I'm gonna be Tom Berginger. Good morning, class. My name is Mr. Smith. Holly Roxy says, I thought House of Wax was pretty good. Yeah, that was all right. That was actually because you know what? I wasn't that pissed off about Paris Hilton. I thought I would be. I mean, and she died a wonderful death in that, but she actually wasn't a bad actress. David says Evil Dead remake was good too. That was a really good one. Yeah, it took me a little time to appreciate how good that movie was, but yes, I've watched that several times. I do enjoy it. RJ McCready says The Thing was also good. The remake. I've got to go somewhere that is going to be opposite of you, my good sir. I did not like that one. I did not like The Thing remake. But you know, the thing is, John Carpenter did such an extraordinary job with The Thing when it came out. It was going to be hard for anybody to follow that up. And I feel like what they did in The Thing remake that really took away from it, for me anyway, was that there was a lot of reliance on CG that kind of, I don't know, you knew it was fake. I mean, the tension was still there, yes, but it just didn't have the same kind of oomph that it should have had. And also, I mean, how are you going to replace Kurt Russell? I mean, Kurt Russell was the goddamn OG. Like, I mean, that, holy shit. And I never can remember his name. Opposite him in The Thing, he was also in They Live. Great actor. I can't remember his name. I'm stupid. Tiffany Hoffman. I'm sorry. Thank you. Who will win in a fight? Chucky versus Charles Bansblade? I don't know. That's a great question. I have no. Who will win in a fight? Chucky versus Charles Bansblade? Who the fuck is? I don't know what that means. Do you mean? I don't know what that means. I'm just the Chucky. I'm gonna go with that. I don't know what I don't know. Mike can answer that too when he gets back. Crystal Watson says it was a good remake. Yeah, it was good. I did enjoy it as well. The Blade from Puppet Master. Oh, from Puppet Masters. I get you. Okay. I didn't know. I didn't know that was his name. I just thought it was. That's a better question. Well, I think that Chucky's going to win just because Chucky is. I feel like he's a lot more inventive than a puppet. I feel like the puppet moves, but moves to purpose based on the master's desires, and I feel like, you know, Chucky is literally, you know, it's Charles Lee Ray, so I mean he's gonna do it. Derek Brickett says, "Sweet jacket, Jay. Thank you. I do appreciate this." Ralph Van says, "Hitcher remake was good." Yeah, was that Sean Bean? Was he the hitchhiker in that one? That was I do remember liking that. So many good remakes, but I don't know why, man. But for me, when I think of remakes, like the ones that stand out, wholeheartedly stand out to me, is Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Friday the 13th, Evil Dead does stand out now, that are worthy of the material that they're remaking. Nightmare on Elm Street, it's, you know, my brother likes that movie a lot. I do appreciate, I think Jackie R. Haley is an incredible actor, but that movie's dog shit. Okay, it smells like dog shit. It is dog shit. It's wet diapers, and I never could get behind it. There's some cool visuals in that movie, no doubt, and I think that they had the right idea, but they ultimately fucked it up. It just felt very MTV, clean special effects. I don't know. The plot was, I didn't like how they moved in that Nightmare on Elm Street remake. But yeah, that one, no way. Chris Scott said Salem's Lot remake, cannot wait. If they do it right, it's going to be really good. Do you remember that Salem's Lot they did with Rob Lowe back in the early 2000s? They did, I think it was an FX thing. It might not have been FX, but I remember saying this is dog shit. Like, it was terrible. It was just not a good one. Dawn of the Dead. Yes, I forgot it. Yeah, every time I forget of Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead is really good. JT Custom says they had practical effects for The Thing 2011. They filmed all of it with practical, but the producers came in and said cover up the effects with CGI. The people who made it wanted it to be good. Hey, I didn't know that. That sucks, man. That's when the movie studios are overstretching their cock and trying to be all about it. They want to be daddy of the world, and that sucks, man. If that's true, then that I'm sure it is. I'm not calling you a liar or anything, but that sucks, man. I hate when studios get involved and they cover up the actual interpretation of what they wanted. Chuck and Renee says the story was trash and acting. Jackie did what he could, and the makeup was shit, and CG on the face makeup just shit. I agree. That was one of the main things. He looked like a burnt ferret running around. But I fucking hated that shit. I really do. Because I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, they already understood that the makeup effects they used with Robert Englund, like just the regular makeup, it worked so well. I don't know why they couldn't have just continued that. First off, I also wouldn't have cast Jackie Earle Haley. I like Jackie Earle Haley. I would have cast Kevin Bacon. I think Kevin Bacon would be a phenomenal Freddy Krueger, and I would have kept the practical effects, the makeup going. But 102 John says, "What's up, Jay? How's it hanging? Short, shriveled, and always to the left." We know this. We know this. Tiffany Hoffman, thank you again so much. She says, my favorite remake, I Spit on Your Grave, but not the sequels. Okay. It's good. I mean, I like it. I like it. I like where your head's at. Colin McCormick says, Jay, did you get the Ghostbusters gift set? Got mine yesterday. I have not, but it looks badass, man. Are you enjoying that set? I hope you're enjoying the shit out of that gift set. Mike, you look like you just painted something.
I was cold, dude.
Yeah, you look like you just painted something. I had to put the last strokes on my masterpiece in the garage. Keith David, thank you, Enigma 523. Keith David. Keith David is badass, dude. I love Keith David. So I got the 2 super chats earlier.
Okay.
From Tiffany Hoffman. She had asked who would win. I can't remember specifically, Tiffany, so I'm going to go ahead and paraphrase it. She said, who would win between Chucky and the dude the Blade? You remember Blade from Puppet Master?
Oh, yeah, that little fucker. That's a good question. I'm going to take Blade, dude.
You piece of shit. There's no way. Chucky? Because the puppet's only controlled by the master. I mean, Chucky's literally a serial killer, and he's his own person.
I just feel like Blade would just chew his way into his fucking, like, he'd just get in there, you know? He'd find a way inside of him. Does Chucky sleep? I don't know.
The only other one that she had that it was her favorite remake was I Spit on Your Grave, but not the sequels. But it was a
I haven't
question.
seen a single one of those, to be
I
honest with you.
saw the original one, but
I
I
don't
didn't
like
see the remake.
I don't like rape in movies. Like it makes me uncomfortable. So
nasty.
I think that there's like that's one of those like it's a rape revenge thing.
Yeah.
So
I
maybe
didn't
that's
get
why
the
I've
new
never
one,
checked
the
it out.
Pop Culture with Pat.
Pop Culture Pat, awesome fuck dude says, "What's up, Mike and Jay? Are you guys looking forward to A24's X coming out this year? Definitely gives me a little Texas Chainsaw vibes. I saw the trailer of that before Scream, and it looks wild and fucked up, but it almost kind of has a Rob Zombie vibe to it. So like, I'm excited for it because it looks weird and different and strange.
Yeah.
But Ty West is hit or miss for me. Like we both hated the fucking Innkeepers. He was the one that did that.
Oh God, that was a terrible movie.
Yeah,
but it got high ratings. Like a lot of people did like that movie for whatever the fuck reason.
Yeah, they did. But he did that. He did a movie where John Goodman was playing like the Jonestown dude, and that was really fucking good. I can't remember the name of it, but it was really good. So
to be honest, when you said X, I was like, are they making another like Logan movie?
No, I wish.
I'm not. I don't know shit about it, so I can't comment on it.
Yeah, you should watch the trailers to see what you think about it. It just kind of looks all over the place, but it kind of gives me Rob Zombie 31 vibes too, which is not a good thing.
You know what I think we should do is I think we should get into this.
Yes,
Texas.
Yes, I think.
But now let's get into this Tex burrito and open it up and see what kind of beans they're using. But the main also I want to say, because we were talking about Rob Zombie a few times. April was saying it earlier, and I tend to agree, but I still think he would have fucked it up because it is in his wheelhouse. If Rob Zombie had been given creative license to do a remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because it really is like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, in my opinion, is what Rob Zombie has on Sunday Thanksgiving dinner or whatever. Like it's just his normal family. Like I just feel like it would, it would just be right up his fucking alley.
It's almost.
But then again, I feel like he would go so far extreme, like he would want to be so different because he doesn't want to be a Toby Hooper clone, that he would fuck it up somehow.
Yeah, no, like I think that it sounds like the obvious choice, but it almost sounds too on the nose. You know what I mean? Like it's just.
Dude, I said the same fucking thing when April was telling. I was like, I think that's why he wouldn't take it.
Yeah,
because he'd be like, "What you called me? You called me trash? I know I'm trash, but I ain't gonna take something that proves it. Fuck you." But I think it might be his best. I think that if he did it right, man, it would be his best movie of all time.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, and I think that I would say that I don't think he would take another big franchise IP and remake it again, but that's a lie because he's already doing
Little Monsters, or not Little Monsters. Yeah,
Little Monsters.
He could probably do the Little Monsters, but
that was not John Goodman in that movie. That was a guy named Gene Jones. My bad. That was my mistake. It just looks like John Goodman. Colton Candler said, when the new TCM game comes out, y'all should stream it. We really should. We've been talking about trying to figure out the gaming thing. I think if we jump out ahead of that and really get on it and are ready to go for the time TCM comes out,
well, I've already you can get I've already got it. Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, I've tried to play it. I just can't get into it.
No, I know, but if we streamed it, it'd be fun because I don't know if we could be. Oh, you could be survivors, or we could be survivors on. I hate being a survivor, but I could be a killer and you could be the survivor, and I'll hunt you down. I'll tunnel you. I'll only kill you.
The Slash and Cast dudes offer to come help us get that set up at some point. So maybe we'll practice with Dead by Daylight and start like a stream or something like that, and then do it. Because I think gaming, dude. I think if we did a gaming channel or something, I think it'd be fun as fuck.
I would love to do it. I mean, that's how we made our bones back in the day with Halo.
For sure. I like it. All right, Texas Chainsaw Massacre in 1974.
Yeah, buddy. The Lone Star State.
There was a guy in a van, and then he came, and then everyone got really scared, and then it was the grossest thing that has ever been seen. I'm trying to do the intro guy.
In 1974, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That sounds pretty good.
Well, no, yeah. What do you say? If I did it, it was like one of the worst recorded. Just tell me.
Hang on.
Oh, let me pull up my phone.
Yeah, pull up on your phone and do it in that voice because you have the voice down better than I did.
Yeah, dude. I gotta say though about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is that motherfucking movie still holds up today. The 19th, it makes me feel like Major Payne's like, I don't like it. It makes me feel funny. Like, when that little boy hugged him, it makes me feel fucking weird.
It was John Larroquette, by the way. Thank you, Derek. And he was the guy. He was the attorney general dude, or the state attorney, whatever the fuck. He was the attorney in Night Court. That handsome motherfucker. He's the one that did that guy. Yeah, thing. Killed it too.
You know,
I think he's coming back to do this one.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying he's coming back to do the intro to this one too, so that should be neat.
Do you know the guy that? Well, I was gonna say the guy they picked up that was hitchhiking in the the beginning of the movie is. Do you know what he looked like, dude? He looked like a real like cracked out heroin version of Sam Rockwell.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. You still looking for it?
Well, yeah. I mean, you can talk. I mean,
I'm looking forward to. I was gonna see. Here you go. I got it. I'll email it to you if you want. It's in
oh
picture
yeah,
form.
just email me because I
We'll start out the review that way because
okay,
that's what.
yeah. But yeah, dude, I just I'll wait till we talk about. Well, we'll do that intro, but yeah, I was telling Mike, dude. Mike was like, yeah, we were talking about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre a few weeks ago, and I was like, dude, that movie still fucks me up a little bit. I remember watching it. I don't know what it was, dude. I remember watching it. I got it on Blu-ray, and I watched it, and I was by myself. It was a couple of years ago, and I watched it alone, and it was like, I felt fucking weird, dude. Like I felt like kind of nasty. And I don't know why. I mean, I don't know why, because it wasn't shot with the technology that we're used to with today or whatever, and it was an older movie, but that movie, the way it was filmed and the way they shot it and the actors and actresses that it I was like, if that were real, I could see it being, I could see it being a real fucking thing.
Yeah. No, like, and I don't.
I know it was based on Ed Gein, but still.
Yeah. It's one of the few movies. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is one of the few movies that, when you go back and watch it, I mean, that's not technically fair. I guess Halloween or Nightmare on Elm Street's definitely one of the Nightmare on Elm Street specifically is one of the scarier first movies that is still kind of scary today because if you think about it. But I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the one of those movies that, no matter how many times you've seen it, because now we've seen the sequels with Freddy being funny and we've seen Michael go through just everything and Jason's just become everything too. But there's something about Texas Chainsaw 1974 that no matter how many times you go back and watch it, it is still just as scary as the first time you saw it, just because it feels wrong. It feels like it should not be.
I definitely, I feel like that warning at the very beginning of the film when the dialogue comes through is a perfect example. This shit's disturbing. Like it's still fucking disturbing. And you know what's weird is they were working off of an 80,000. I think they on Wikipedia it says between an 80,000 and $130,000 budget or $140,000 budget. It ultimately made like $30 million at the box office. I don't know what that translate with today, what the inflation is. I mean, what $80,000 would cost back in 1974, but it still probably wasn't. I mean, I know it was a lot more, but I'm not saying it was, but it was low budget enough to where it was fucking scary. Like it was almost like, I know they did that because they didn't have the money to shoot like this awesome cinema type of way, but it was like almost by design. Toby Hooper was like, this has to be this very in the dirt type of filming to make it effective. And it is. And it's not just that, dude. It's the fucking music. Like when she's at the dinner table and it's like that fucking yeah, it makes me feel. I was like, I'm having migraines.
It's scary, but you hate it. Okay, I'll let you do this first. Okay. It's in the attachment, by the way.
Yeah. The film which you are about to see is an account of the tragedy which befell a group of 5 youths, in particular Sally Hardesty and her invalid brother, Franklin. It is all the more tragic in that they were young, but had they lived very, very long lives, they could not have expected nor would they have wished to see as much as the mad and macabre as they were to see that day. For them, an idyllic summer afternoon drive became a nightmare. The events of that day were to lead to the discovery of one of the most bizarre crimes in the annals of American history, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Anals. By the way, you did the same thing I did when I read it. I read it as macabre, but it's actually macabre. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was pronounced that way till I watched this fucking movie, though.
I'm not a Shakespearean actor. Suck my white ass ball.
That was actually really good, though, dude. That was actually pretty goddamn close. I wish we had like the whole setup for it because that was pretty good.
So now we've got that out of the way. I gotta say, I just want to get it out of the way. What is your rating? I know we'll give a rating, but either way, I want to know right off the bat, hot off the presses, what's your wiener feel like? What's it feeling?
I think it's a fucking ugly and gross 9.5 for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, and the reason I say that is because like the movie itself has a lot of problems with it. There's a lot of dead lulls in time, I think, at certain points or whatever. And it's got you could pick the problems, a million miles away with the movie overall. But just as a movie, it has a soul to it that I feel like no other movie in the history of movies has. Like it has. there's something about this original movie that feels unlike any other movie you've ever seen in your life, and just how gross it is, you know? Like, and it's not even, there's barely any blood in the fucking movie. There's only 5 deaths in a movie called the Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
But there's just something about it that feels like you're watching it. It feels like Faces of Death, you know?
Yeah.
So
I agree. I would give it a 9.5 as well. And you know what's weird? I give it a 9.5, but it's my most avoided movie. I think it's subconscious. I just don't want to fucking put myself through it because it fucking grosses me out. And it's weird because I can watch Hostel, I can watch Saw, I can watch those kind of movies, and they're gross. I mean, they're overtly gross on purpose. And it's like, yeah, okay, it's gore effects, and they're doing it for shock value, and I get what they're doing it for. But this movie grosses me out in a way that I don't know why, because I feel like it's so grounded in a possibility of reality.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's some fucking weird out there in the middle of nowhere part of Texas that you could drive to and no one would know anything about it. And they do these fucked up things like, hey, y'all like barbecue? I cook that shit fresh with human bones. You know, I just, that's why it freaks me the fuck out, man. I don't know. It freaks me out. I guess that's the ultimate. Yeah, it freaks me out. And the music and the way that it's shot is perfect. It blends it together and makes you uncomfortable on purpose. And that's what's really, that's what makes it stand out in my mind. Even more so than Hellraiser. Hellraiser is gross and it makes you feel weird too. But this one's different because it feels way more grounded in reality. Yeah. Like in the way that like John Carpenter was maybe trying to go with like The Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah, I think the bad parts about like how some of it's not a good movie. It's not well made filmmaking at some points. Actually add to the film because
it makes it worse. It makes it better.
It feels like it feels like the first found footage movie ever, because there's just something about the way that it's filmed. There's no filmmanship to it, even though there is, especially when like certain scenes when he's like chasing her. And like,
I like when you say filmmanship, you mean the guy that's running with the camera that weighs 55 pounds in 1974. It's like,
yeah,
it's like, yeah, it was all on purpose.
Well, there's certain points where like where Leatherface is chasing somebody and like you see the camera work over the shoulder. There's genius shots in it, but like there's something about like the poor quality about it, the grindhouse quality of it. It doesn't feel like it's quite on purpose. It just feels genuine. It feels real, and it feels like it's all they fucking had. And like that makes it feel like a found footage movie in a sense, because you know like how you're supposed to find the tapes like in Blair Witch or whatever. This felt like the first one of those movies because this feels like some just like cutting room floor shit that someone found, like a fucking 8mm. It really does. Like goddamn.
No, that's exactly right. Yeah, I agree. No, I agree. I agree. I feel like it's one of those movies that, it's not that it's obviously not found footage, but because it's so low budget, and the way that it looks and the way that they present it, it almost feels like something that back in the 70s or early 80s that a news station would put out, like we discovered this footage. What you are about to see is truly disturbing.
Yeah. And they did a good job of that in the remake too.
Huh?
Yeah. They did a good job of that in the remake with the opening.
Well, apparently I didn't know this. Oh, dude, the remake, they did awesome. Because I remember going to the theater and seeing the remake, and I remember people on the theater like, is this real? Is that real footage? I was like, no, you stupid bitch. I was like, have you never seen the first movie? But I think that in 1974, didn't they say based on a true story or something? Because I know it's based on Ed Gein,
right?
But it's not. Yeah. It's loosely based on Ed Gein,
very loosely.
But I feel like they were the first viral marketing. If they were like based on a true story, like Blair Witch did, so many years later.
Yeah, no, in the late 90s. So, and it's amazing when they made this movie. And actually, like they did people pretty shitty on this set, like. They had all these actors come together and they went way over their budget. When you listen to them talk about it, they had no idea what the fuck they were doing. And the reason the movie went over in money is because it was just a shit show on the set. Nobody knew what the fuck they were doing. They went over in money and they went over in time.
Sounds like it's something that we would produce.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
But they told the actors, they were like, hey, we can't even pay you guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you points. And they told all the actors, they said, we're going to give you points based on what the movie makes. You will get paid based on that, like a percentage, like Jack Nicholson did for the Batman. Well,
but he got $50 fucking million.
Right. But the movie blows up, right? Nobody's getting paid. They're all working like 12. They're one part of this, they took it, the dinner table scene specifically took like between 24 and 27 hours to film. And they had all these dead
God, those actors suck, dude. Like, just get your lines right, bitch.
They had all these dead dog carcasses around.
Yeah.
The heat, like it was disgusting in there. Leatherface, Gunnar Hansen
Gunnar Hansen
said
yeah.
he wasn't allowed to change his clothes, so he literally stank. There was BO and
That's
dead
good.
dog flesh
Adds to
and
the
all
flavor.
this. Basically, they put these people through hell, and like people were actually hurt filming it, all this crazy shit. But through all that, they promised them points in the movie. And then when the movie exploded and blew the fuck up, they were like, oh, by the way, it's not actually points on the whole film. We only own 50% of it. And we had to sell some of our percentage of it to get the movie made because we were behind. So people got like fucking dirt. I think Gunnar Hansen said his first check, dude, was for like $47.
Well, he could have had a lot of Happy Meals. The thing about it is, though, I think what happened in those particular instances, and again, I'm not saying that the studio is not. I mean, it's a shitty practice, but what they were probably going on is a handshake agreement, and in Hollywood, there's no fucking way.
Yeah.
You need that shit on paper, signed, in a contract. Period. Like, because that's how Nicholson got his money. You need to have like stone cold fucking paper.
And they were all like film students. And then what happened was when they went over, dude, the company that bought the picture, it was a fucking mobster. It was a goddamn mobster. And when they went in there to tell him, hey, you're not giving us our money, he's like, you don't have the fucking balls to sue me. And when they did sue him, he declared bankruptcy, and basically nobody got paid, dude.
Yeah.
Like all these actors, all these people got fucking super fucked over.
Well, hopefully they got paid. They got paid later. Or like they got some recompense or something. I mean, I know that Gunnar Hansen is he's at quite a few conventions, so I hope that
he's passed away now, but he used to be.
I mean, he had been. I mean, Gunnar Hansen had been at a few. I mean, I would never have gone up to Gunnar Hansen and been like, "Hey, man, did you ever sort that out?" I would never be like that kind of asshole. But I hope he got something. But yeah, it sucks, man. But it was. I think it was a sign of the times, dude. There was a lot of people that were underhanded little bastards that did shit like that in Hollywood, and that's why. But even then, though, you got to know, like, you don't ever accept somebody at their fucking word. If you don't know them and you just start working with them and they're like a verbal agreement, you'll get some points. You might as well just like spread your butthole and wait for the big old fucking air cock to come in there because you're not getting shit.
Well, Mike Baglioni says it right. The only guy who actually I think got paid up front was the guy who played Franklin, because he said, the scene in the opening when he falls down the hill.
Mm-hmm.
He told them, he was like, I'm not going down that fucking hill until you actually cut me a check. So they cut him a check on the spot, and it's in his shirt pocket when he falls down the fucking hill. But no, all I was trying to say was I think that like I think what those actors went through, like all that shit, because it's Texas, it's hot as fuck, and like they literally, dude, one person that was making they were taking dead dogs and like fucking filling them with formaldehyde.
That's disgusting.
One girl accidentally like was going to fill the dog with formaldehyde and actually stabbed herself with the needle and put some formaldehyde in herself. It was just a fucked up shoot, dude.
She get high.
I don't know.
I'll smoke this later.
I don't think anybody knew what the fuck they were doing on that set, but somehow it turned into this weird amalgamation of, I think all that added to this weird.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't explain.
That's we look at back at something like Halloween with John Carpenter and all the camaraderie that happened on the set when they were making the first movie, and everybody was determined to make this a really good horror movie, and they were all getting along, and it was filmed in a low budget setting, but it was very much streamlined. Like, this is very businesslike. It's going the way that it should go. This movie is opposite of that, where it's just like Wild West, like shoot from the hip. Yeah, you're right. It does add to the flavor of the movie. And I think that is ultimately why the movie is maybe why it's so fucked up. I don't know. Maybe it's one of those, it's one of those happy accident movies. Like, it just, because it could have been one of those movies that could have been regaled to history as The Town That Dreaded Sundown. And that movie fucking sucks. That movie is not good. I know there's
the
fans
original
of
or
it.
the remake.
I watched the original one. I don't think it's good. The 1976 one, I don't think it's good at all. I understand why people say that Friday the 13th ripped it off, but either way, I'm just saying it's not a good movie. It's boring, but that's what Texas Chainsaw Massacre could have wound up being. It's just a forgotten movie that happened in 74. But like, oh, you remember that kind of fat guy that ran around with the chainsaw? Yeah, that's it.
Well, what's fucked up about it, dude, and I've always been like, I think when people hear Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they think Leatherface, big scary guy chasing people around. But when you watch the movie, I think what's most fucked up about it is that it's the family around him. That's also another layer of fucked upness. But when you get to Leatherface, dude, when he introduces himself in that scene, when old dude, I think his name's Dirk, what's his fucking name? Kirk, when he goes in that fucking house and that door fucking opens, dude, it just, I mean, it hits you over the fucking
That was
head.
amazing.
You know, like, and we'll talk about the opening scene because that was fucked up too. But dude, it feels so fucking real. Like this dude just pops out of fucking nowhere and then just bangs him real quick. And then, dude, the way his body was doing that floppy shit.
Twitch. He's a twitcher.
That shit,
he's a twitcher.
Oh my god, like that shit, like you're like, oh, what the fuck? I'm watching something fucking weird. Can't take you.
When I watched it, I was like, you know what really happened? Leatherface was just surprised. He was like, "Ah!" And then he reacted. It was like getting jump scared. He was like, "Fuck it!" And then he hit him. He was like, "Oh shit! Now I gotta eat him."
Well, and that's the thing too. That's the thing about Leatherface in this movie is that he is just scared and like he doesn't know what's going on, and like all these people are popping into his house, and he's basically just defending himself because he's fucking wackadoo.
I feel like Leatherface is still a piece of shit, dude. I feel like he's still evil, and I feel like he might have mentally he might be mentally slow or something. He might be a retard. As the Hangover, Zach, a retard. Right. But I think at the same time he understands right and wrong, and I think he understands at least the basic of morality. But he's been raised that way, so he doesn't see human beings outside of his family as anything more than meat. Well, so but that's how and that's about you could get into the whole psychological study, nature versus nurture bullshit like that if you want to. But I like to look at him like he's a big dumb animal that his family were like, hey, he's got very limited gifts. Let's train him to fucking murder people and then he'll enjoy it. I don't know. And he does. But the thing about that scene specifically, there's a reason why there's two scenes that stand out in my mind. And I think for any Texas fan, it's the scene when he grabs the guy when the door opens, or him opening the door, and then that's classic fucking scene. Or it's him grabbing the girl and pulling her into the house. The door opening. That shit scared it didn't scare me. It's weird because it did scare me, but it didn't scare me. It just made me really like I don't know. I didn't know how to process it because it's like it was so
you gotta visceral. Be quicker than that.
Yeah, it was so visceral and it was so raw. It was so well acted because the actresses and the actor, or the actresses, or the actress and the actor that do that part they do it really like amazing, and it makes you like when she bursts in the dining room and there's all those chicken bones and shit around, and then she runs out and she screams for Kirk, and then he's like, "Oh, you ain't the Amazon Prime delivery guy."
What the fuck? It's basically Thor every time Amazon shows up.
Yeah. That shit, like it fucking disturbed me. Like I don't know. And then I was like, I don't like it. Not that I know the movie's great, but I was like, I don't like this because this feeling that I'm getting is not good.
Yeah, it makes you feel very uncomfortable in your satch. But like, and when
is John Gruden in your ear? Is he telling you that he's coming back to Tampa Bay?
I keep feeling like it's gonna fall out, John. But no, like that scene, and then when he goes out and he goes after her, like you said, it's almost like the opening scene of Scream, where like her being saved is right there. She can see her parents. She just can't yell. She's almost out the door, and he grabs her and he just pulls her back in. That moment was great too. And then when he goes to put her on the hook, it's like, oh dear God, Betty, and no heaven fuck shit. Like when he does that
was gnarly. Yeah,
it was fucked up, dude. Like you're thinking about, and there's barely any blood in that scene once again. And like you're watching it and you're just like, I cannot fucking believe this is happening. It's all just so fucked up. It feels like you're not supposed to be watching it. It feels like you're watching someone's fucking door camera, like Ring doorbell, and you think
it's on
live
TV
an Amazon
or some shit.
Yeah. You think someone's going to steal an Amazon package, and they take this girl and they put her on this hook. It's a really fucked up feeling that you get deep inside of your nutsack when it happens.
Well, they do a great job in the beginning of the movie too, because they lull you into this false sense of security a little bit because you don't know what you're in for, at all.
I'm listening. I'm going to change my battery.
He's not listening. He's going to go jack his dick.
I can hear that.
Oh. But no, it does a really good job of lulling you into this false sense of security at the very beginning, because it's like all these guys, they're all their friends are hanging out in the van. They pick up a weirdo on the side of the road, which they never should have done, because that guy smells like Cheetos and feet. They get it, he acts like a fucking weirdo, and then they kick him out. But you think everything's gonna be okay, and it's not that you're seeing a horror movie, so you already know that something fucked up's gonna happen later on, but not to the visceral extent they showcase it. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's not one of those movies that you're going to be like, oh, it's on my top 10 of most graphic, violent movies I've ever seen in my life. But it's just the way it makes you feel.
It's not even that
like
violent.
It really does lull you into this sense of like, it's a regular horror movie. Everything's going to be okay. Don't worry about it. And then all of a sudden it's like, fuck, boom, shit. Okay, here we go. Bop it. Pull it. Zip it.
Everyone loves a slinky.
Yeah, it's like one of those it's like, holy shit, I didn't expect that.
Real quick, before we continue the review, Jay Dia with a very fucking generous super chat. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it, Jay Dia. Says down sick, so a night of Wham is exactly what I needed. Love you, glorious bastards. We love you too.
Love you, and I love Inglorious Bastards too. You should watch it if you haven't seen it.
Hey, Jay's been sick. Jay's been sick too. You're not alone. Jay's been sick.
I've had a little sinus infection, but I've been all right.
Yeah.
You know, buongiorno was what I'm
Buongiorno.
going to say. Buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
All I want to know is who the fuck's idea was it to fight in a fucking basement?
Here's DJ. I hope you feel better. Hope you feel
have a
better.
good one. Be careful, and just do some chicken noodle soup and read some chicken noodle soup for the soul. Chicken noodle soup for the soul is good, man.
The best thing about being sick is that you can eat all the ramen noodles you want with no guilt.
I always get that chicken noodle soup, man. It's so weird. How the fuck is that got the healing powers of the gods? Chicken noodle soup.
I don't fuck with the chicken noodle soup.
Every time I eat it,
soggy. It's too soggy for me.
Your butt?
Yeah, I fuck with that ramen.
After.
And I'll get the kind of spicy ramen too with all this. No. Oh yeah, it's good shit. Love you, JD. Thank you so much. But yeah, so let's talk about the opening scene because we haven't actually talked about it. There's like 2 or 3 openings to this film almost. First, you have the title drop that you did, which is fucking awesome.
Oh, I loved it. Yeah,
but
that's good.
Like, it sets the mood, and then they show these bodies like
that was awesome. That's probably my favorite part. The pictures.
It sets you up. It gets you that like not to reference Scream again, but like when Scream's happening and you hear the voice of like the people talking, and you get a sense that the whole town's kind of fucked up over this. Like there's something going on. Stephen King's a perfect,
or they ignore it.
Yeah, not a perfect storm, but storm of the century. When everyone's anticipating the storm to come, when you create that community feel of like something's fucked up, I think it adds something to the film.
I think what you meant. I think I get what you're saying but I also think that you mean more of if you think of like when the town of Derry, it's been happening for so long. It's just it's a common occurrence. They don't care.
No. Well, pretty much that's one of the greatest things Stephen King does is like he uses that town of Maine to create a community, and there's almost this fear.
But I know
in the air.
Just give me what I want. I'll go away.
Yeah, like that. Like and Scream does it good, and a lot of movies do it good. I think the opening of this movie set the tone really well. When they show those dead bodies and you hear the guy over the radio talking about them finding.
I loved when Drowning Pool came on and they sang.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
Dude,
but
that would be a good one, yeah.
They paint the scene really well, and then you've got these kids, and like I don't know, like I cannot fucking stand like Franklin. Like I know
you don't like him. I like him better than any of the other ones.
You know, he was method acting that entire fucking time. They said on the set,
he seemed real. I mean, I think he was one of the best actors on the show.
Well, he was the guy in the wheelchair. If you don't know, not you, but if you guys, but like when he's the guy in the wheelchair, and like. He's being annoying as fuck the whole time, but he said on set, they said he was the exact same way. He was kind of the outcast. Everybody be hanging out over here, and he'd kind of be off to the side. And what he said about that, he was like, Franklin was so fucking whiny. He was like, I felt like if I stopped doing that for a second, that I would lose it. So I get it. It's not like he was trying to make Jared Leto be fancy, but he was just scared that he would lose it, so he kept it up.
That's a good actor. That's a good actor.
He reminded me of the don't be sad, Vic. Have a chocolate bar from fucking Friday.
I got them confused because I was, apparently that's the guy that supposedly, allegedly, I'm not going to say that it's going to get us in trouble, but allegedly molested Corey Feldman, the guy from Friday the 13th, the chocolate bar guy.
Really?
That's who he named.
I didn't know that.
That's who he named. Corey Feldman named him as his molester.
I didn't know that. Holy
yeah.
Oh fuck.
But I got them confused, and then I was like, oh yeah, that's not that guy. But I you know what? I liked Franklin because I thought Franklin represented, like, he looked like an everyday dude, like, and he seemed more real than the other people that he was traveling with. He was overweight, he's in a wheelchair, and the wheelchair really had nothing to do with it, but he just seemed like an everyday kind of guy. And I felt like a very Andy Griffith thing with him. I don't know. I liked him. I just wanted him to survive because I felt like this. You know how they talked on Andy Griffith? I felt like he was talking like if he was talking to Andy. He's like, no, I didn't give you the map. No, I gave you the map when I got out of the van. What'd you do with it? Like I don't know. I liked him.
He just never stopped though. Like, and they'd be sitting there being more of the time like, hey Jim, do you think he's gonna come back? Hey Jim.
I think I felt bad for him though, because I mean, he's in a wheelchair and it's like, and the, you know, his friends are assholes and his sister's a bitch. I was like, this guy can't even get up a fucking. They leave him alone, and he can't even get. He's a broken down porch. He can't even get up the ramp, and they're all upstairs celebrating.
I hated him, but I also felt bad for him. So it was both. Like I get why everybody left him alone because they were like, I'm trying to be nice to you, but God damn it, you get on my fucking nerves.
But he's in a wheelchair. I mean, come on.
No, I know. They were wrong to leave him alone. They were wrong to force him to come. But dude, he was really annoying when he's like,
I liked when he came into the house, he's like he was making fun of him, like having fun upstairs.
He actually reminded me of Shelly from Friday the 13th Part 3 when he's like, I don't want to go skinny dipping because everyone thinks I'm fat. Like I was like, just stop bitching and go
that
skinny
guy was
dip.
different though. I was like, you could lose weight. This guy can't ever walk again. So I mean, like it's not.
I'm just saying. I feel bad for him, but he's also really fucking annoying. You know?
No, I know, but I wanted that. I felt like that guy. I don't know. I felt very. I don't know. I like that dude.
Well, I wish that you were there to take care of him because I was really happy.
I would have taken care of him. I'd be like, hey man, let's play Pokemon or something. I don't fucking know what you're into.
You won't. Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what to do. I was like, since you're sitting down. Let's play poker.
But the guy they picked up, who ends up being later in the movie, when they picked him up, that was really fucked up because he gets in the car and it's like that automatic thing when like if like you're in a Hooters or something, or I don't know, or you're at Applebee's and like some weird guy comes up and he's like, "Can I sit with you?"
You tell me the hitchhiker. Yeah.
And they're like, "Can I sit with you?" And you're like, "Sure." Like you want to be nice, but he keeps getting weirder and weirder, and it escalates and it escalates. And the next thing you know, he's fucking. And again, another thing that Franklin was doing that was being annoying when he was talking about how they kill the cows, and he was like, it goes bing, doom, bing, doom. I was like, shut the fuck up. You said it once already. Yeah. You know?
I think he didn't have anything. I felt like he didn't have anything else to talk about, and everybody else was paired up. So he was like, I'm gonna be that weird guy and talk about weird shit. But but that hitchhiker dude, yeah, exactly. We've been to we used to frequent this bar, it's karaoke bar, and I remember a few guys that would sit next to us or whatever and start talking, and they'd be like, hey, do you know there's aliens that are invading right now from the other side of the galaxy? I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, right now. And they call me Jesus Christ and I have to lead our people. I was like, how much fucking drink have you had, sir?
No, dude.
Like this guy was fucking crazy. And like, yeah, that was exactly
home, dude.
Yeah, that guy was that. First off, I think the sign would have been that he smells like butthole. As soon as he comes in, it's just this wave of butthole.
But it's so hot about everybody's copper. Like butthole.
Well, no, that whole van probably smelled like toe jam and Cheetos. But when he came in, it was just this fresh wave of butthole and like blood and copper. And then he was weird. But he was like, he looked like, dude, I swear to God, he looked like a young Sam Rockwell. Like he reminded me of this. And then I was like, if they had paid him for the picture that he took of Franklin, would this never have happened?
Yeah, that's another creepy thing that happens when he pulls it out and he puts that black magic. What was that all about? They never really explained.
I thought it was gunpowder.
Yeah, it was like whatever he did. It was like meant to be like, hey, you're fucked or whatever. But as soon as he breaks out the knife and he cuts himself, I'd have been like,
just give him the fucking money. Yeah.
Did you think the same thing I thought, by the way, when they threw him out of the van? Did you think of Jane Silent Bob when they threw Sean William Scott out of the van? It's like, get out of here, sheep fucker.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, but that would be a good one. Yeah. I mean, honestly, at that point, if I had been you could have kicked him out of the van like Spartacus or not, or fucking Maximus Aurelius in Gladiator. But no, yeah, I think he should have. I think I'm actually thinking of 300, but either way, I always think I was like, if they had just paid him the $2 for the fucking picture, would this have ever happened?
$2 was a lot
because
of
he'd
money
be like,
back then.
they good people. They paid me $2, and we ain't gonna fuck with them. No.
I don't know. I don't think so at all. Plus $2 was a lot of money back then. And plus he was rude as fuck about it. By the way, he was like, hey, I took your picture. Now give me $2 fucking.
I was like, yeah, that motherfucker just cut his fucking hand.
Yeah. Like you're
I'll
bleeding
give
all
him
over
the
my van.
$2. If it costs me 50, fuck it.
And they gave him a fucking ride already. It's like it's the old story. If you give a mouse a cookie, he's gonna want some milk. All right. They gave this guy a ride, and then he wanted money for his picture, and then they wanted to take him to his house. Next thing you know, he's gonna get what's he gonna get upset about next? Like you're not gonna come to my house and eat my grandpa. Like now I'm mad at you and I'm gonna murder everybody. Eventually, you got to cut it off. All right. Tough titty said the kitty, but the
I
milk
think
is
I would have
still
given him the
good. Get out of
$2
my
and
van.
just seen what happened. And then he'd be like, thank you very much. And you can let me out right here. I mean, who knows? And then you never would have had the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. But who knows?
That's true too. It would have been a short film.
It would have been like quick. It's like how to handle rageful hitchhikers.
But we'll never
Step
know
one.
what would have happened.
And then later on, you can come back and beat the fuck out of him and get your money back. But whatever.
Tony AKC, thank you very much for the sweet super chat, my friend. Really appreciate it. He says, "Hi guys, a huge fan since 2018. You guys make me die of laughter. Love everything you guys do. I love everything you do, Tony. I've been watching you in the shower, and the way that you choose to wash your butt before you wash your face, I think is a bold strategy. And Cotton, I think it's going to pay off.
That's why they call him Texas Tony. He's always about that fucking whirlwind.
Old Texas.
He's always about that whirlwind.
Tony.
He's always about that dust devil.
He does things backwards, and he don't care.
Texas
He's a backwards
Tony.
man. Love you, Tony. Thank you, buddy. Really appreciate that, man. That was a sweet super chat,
Thank you, Tony.
But like Aaron Click said, $2 was a lot of money back then, and so they kick him out of the van. They should have, and he writes on the van. But Nat, dude, these are people who literally dig up graves and serve the remains of the bodies to the people of the community. They were never going to let them go. You know?
Well, no, that's a point of contention because when they finally do get to the gas station and you see it's barbecue, I've always wondered, and when I say a point of contention, maybe I'm having the contention. Are they serving human remains as their barbecue, or is it actual barbecue?
I think they take what they can get. I think
in the remake they make it more clear that they've been using that possibly the leftovers as barbecue.
Yeah, so I think sometimes they take what they can get, but I'm pretty sure at the beginning of the movie you hear that graves have been robbed. So I think they're actually using decomposing bits as well, but they're also using roadkill and like other shit like that. Whatever it is, it's not sanitary. They probably would at least get a 74 or below on their health score from the state.
Yeah, it sounds like our local Taco Bell. So
yeah, absolutely. Like pretty much the Chinese buffets
okay.
we were talking about
Whatever,
earlier. Nothing against Chinese buffets, just I've been to a couple that are really sketchy.
Yeah.
But my point is that there's a whole nother layer to this. Like, I think we all think Leatherface murdering people, chainsaw. But when you look at the depth of the movie and the sequels, there's the family element, which gets way more fucked up. And it's almost like when you get to that point, you almost can't handle it, dude. When she escapes Leatherface, right? And by the way, that scene where she's in the freezer and she still
it makes you feel you're like, God damn, stop yelling. You're scaring me.
I don't want to fuck.
Yeah, when she's like,
yeah.
Holy shit, call Darkwing Duck. This bitch going crazy.
And, and Leatherface literally looks like me when I'm trying to prepare a fancy dinner, but I have no idea how to cook. He's just running around from window to window like, where the fuck do you come from? What the shit? I got somebody in the fucking freezer over here. Holy shit, I knocked over a fucking broom. Like Leatherface is just, he's clearly fucking stressed out. You know?
That lady in the back of the truck looks like me when I only think a couple of people are coming to the family reunion and multiple people show up. I'm like, I couldn't. I can't solve it. I can't fix it.
Yeah. But I feel bad for him though too. Like that family does treat him like shit. Yeah, I kind of do.
Fuck
like
that.
No, like think about it. Okay, so she escapes him, right? She gets away from him. She finds the old creepy dude. He's like, "Oh, honey, it's gonna be fine. Everything's fine. Just get in my truck. I'm just gonna hit you with the broom a couple times and take you get fucking eaten by my grandpa."
Yeah.
But when he walks back, he's like, "I'll be right back," and he walks back with that fucking potato sack. And he's like, "Everything's gonna be all right. Just getting my fucking potato sack." I was like, "What the fuck?" And like that is the evil guy. And like when he has her in his truck, I think the meanest thing the movie does is she's sitting in his truck. He's like, "It's gonna be fine. Don't worry, honey." And then he takes the broom and he's like, I'm like, "Stop, dude."
Yeah, like torturing her. Yeah.
He goes from nice to fucking evil like in seconds, and it's scary.
I feel like Leatherface is absent thought evil, and then the one that actually has intelligence, meaning the father or the brother, whoever the fuck that Sam Rockwell looking motherfucker is even more evil. But I don't think it excuses Leatherface at all. I still think he's a fucked up evil person. And the thing is, I know it's based loosely on Ed Gein, and I know that Ed Gein was found to be not guilty based on reasons of insanity, and he died out into a sanatorium. I think I think he died out in a sanatorium. And I don't know if he was found not guilty, but guilty. But they added the insanity plea. But the thing is, you've got to be a real fucked up person to do the same, like do some of that shit. Like, I mean, digging up bodies and cutting off faces and then making a wallet out of it and making fucking lampshades and shit like that. In my opinion, and I know I'm not an expert in this, I think you're a fucking piece of shit and you deserve to be burned in hell. I think it's, I know I'm 100%. I don't think, and look, I know insanity exists and I'm not trying to like downplay mental issues, but I'm saying at the same time, if you do the crime, you do the time. I mean, fuck that.
You fuck around, you find out.
I'm gonna be that fucking dare dog. I'll be the fucking dare dog that we remember from goddamn high school.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's implicatable for his crimes regardless, but it is weird to think like where again, this is a house with no women in it, right? It's all guys. So what happened to the grandma? They do show her corpse, but like Leatherface has been raised in this, and like they kind of made him the effeminate one of the three. Like you've got
he's cooking and stuff, yeah.
You got the dad.
Well, even though the weird Sam Rockwell guy said, "Well, me and him do everything. We're the ones that cook." No, actually, they said the dad cooked. He said that's all that he did.
And they said it was Drayton. I think somebody corrected me and said it was Drayton.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what I'll say. I understand what you're saying, obviously, and I mean, I know this is going off the track a little bit here. I agree with the death penalty. I do not agree with the death penalty when it comes to mentally ill. I don't think that people that are actually retarded or anything like that are mentally challenged. I don't know what the correct PC thing is to say anymore, but they should not be executed. I 100% agree with that. Definitely, because especially if you can prove they don't know right and from wrong.
Yeah,
100%. But all I'm saying is in this particular instance is that I don't think Leatherface was mentally incapable of understanding what was right and wrong. I just think that he went along with it because it was what he was good at.
Well, the way I see it though is that if he was raised in this house, right, and there's no fucking internet connection, he can't Google how to be a good person. Like they probably don't even have a fucking TV. I don't think he's raised, he's born, and all they do, like, imagine if he's raised and born in that house with that fucked up family, and he never. No, I know. I mean, he never meets an outsider. He never meets anybody, and all they do is tell him the point of life, the point of human life is you're the butcher. You cut up these bodies. You do this shit. You murder when you have to murder or whatever. Like, he has no way of knowing what's right and what's wrong. And I think that is like either way, he's fucking.
Well, I feel like that, but I also feel like you could make that same argument with Michael Myers then, with Rob Zombie specifically.
Well, no, because Michael Myers was raised in a
not
normal suburban.
The Rob Zombie version.
He was raised in a suburban
He was raised
town.
by a stripper mom and a stepdad that hated him.
Right, but there was outside. He went to school. There was teachers. There was not this Leatherface. Literally was just brought up in this fucking kitchen. We don't even know if he's ever fucking been to a goddamn park with a slide in it. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Well, I mean, not everyone's been to a park with a slide in, and that's a tragedy. But at the same time, I would like, you know what I say?
Every pretty girl deserves to go to a
I feel like
park.
you're trying to. I feel like I know what you're trying to say, but I feel like you're Keanu Reeves in The Devil's Advocate, and I'm gonna be like, can't win them all.
Burn. Either way, he needs to be put down. He's that is a lost cause.
I like what you're saying though, because it's an argument, because that is you could broach that subject. Like, is that the moral ambiguity, or I don't know how to say it.
Ambiguity. Yeah, you got
ambiguity. The moral ambiguity. But I also am not stupid enough to feel like Leatherface deserves any type of sympathy as far as what he did. I mean, he is still culpable in the crimes that he committed. So the motherfucker should burn and be electrocuted if they ever caught him. But at the same time, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, and it goes back to nature versus nurture, and that's an interesting point. And maybe a lot of people don't look at it like that. But still, overall, as the movie itself, as it's presented, I think it's a fucking disturbed and fucked up movie. I think it's a really, and again, it came from 1974, dude, and you can watch that in 2022 and still be fucked up from it.
And pre-Halloween, by the way, pre-Halloween. Like
Mhm.
I'm not with that fucking douchebag from whatever review site who said that Halloween ripped it off, but pre-Halloween, you know, one of the
Who said
earlier
that?
some guy when he reviewed Halloween Kills, he was like, and by the way, we all know that Halloween in
What? How the
itself is
fuck?
just a
How do you
rip
equate
off from
that? I'm like, oh
yeah,
my
it's
god.
so
Okay,
fucking
I'd love
different.
to.
Yeah,
What
stupid.
weed did you smoke, sir?
But the third act of the film was almost its own act, right? Like I think that's the most fucked up act. I think the
The
third
third
act,
act, yeah, I agree. The third act is the most. When she gets brought into the house, that's where it goes. Holy shit!
it's a whole nother stratosphere, fucking crazy. And that, by the way, that scene was like the scene they said took 24 to 27 hours to shoot. But when they're sitting there and she's just nonstop screaming, dude,
And they
it's
keep
so
on coming
grating
at
on your
her. It's fucking
fucking
scary.
nerves.
Yeah.
Like I want to be like, can y'all just put some scotch tape on her? Like I mean, I hope you let her go first. But if you're not gonna let her go, could you at least fucking
I'm trying to
put some
draw
scotch
my
tape on her?
fucking fingers.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, she was just constantly like, yeah. I was
But you know what?
stop it,
You know what? You know what I think that they did really good is at the beginning of that scene is when they're showing the different angles of her face and they're making that weird music and it's like it's like it's like I felt like I was in the nutty barn. I'm like, this is fucking crazy, dude.
At least once she should have been like, oh.
I felt like I was in that moment in House on Haunted Hill when Chris Kattan was talking about that one particular machine that would go around, and he was like, whatever would drive an insane man insane, or whatever would drive a sane man insane, this would drive an insane man sane. You know, I was like, holy shit. Yeah, that shit was annoying. But I felt like it was terrifying too, because the Sam Rockwell wannabe and then Leatherface kept coming at her. And you got to imagine you're tied to a fucking chair and these wackadoos are touching you and like, you know, and you're screaming for that one that you think is a reasonable dude, the guy that works at Cracker Barrel, that looks like he works at Cracker Barrel, the dad or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, he ain't doing nothing. He can't do nothing. And then they're
like, that's the guy that has the conscience. Oh, I'm fucked.
I feel like what they do is they inject the hopelessness of your situation in that moment. And you're like, you are fucked.
Yeah.
Like, you guys understand what I'm saying? It's like when you know you are fucked and you can't get out of it, that's what's scary, man. It's not necessarily everything else. It's that you are completely screwed. That's what's really scary. Like there's no escape.
That one got caught in my throat a little bit. But and then they bring down the like you think that's like the height of it, right? And then they bring down the goddamn grandpa.
That was
and you're like,
nasty, yeah.
Oh, what the fuck? Like it looks bad, but it also looks really fucking scary at the same time.
I'm gonna say something. It's gonna be unpopular, and I don't want you guys to get mad at me, but there's one scene
you got turned
when they were filming the grandpa, and he looked like John Carpenter. I
did not see that, but
he's not dead. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he looks like a crusty old asshole, but I'm just saying like there was one because you could tell that's a terrible mask. I mean, they were working on a limited budget, but there's one scene when he's sitting in the wheelchair and he's like this, and it's like from a hallway scene, and you're looking into it, and he's sitting like this. If he had a ponytail, I'd be like, that's John Carpenter answering questions about Halloween. But because it also looked like a Reagan mask. It would look really bad. Like
apparently the guy that they put that on was like in his 20s, and they said they just glued that shit to his face, and he's like scarred for life from it. Like there's a bunch of shady ass shit they did on this fucking
they
set.
Use Elmer's? Like
I don't know if they meant legitimately like scarred or just like mentally because he had to do that. But yeah, I'm not a fan of the production.
He sucked her finger with blood on it. That was weird.
That was like I feel like if you like if there was like a graph that went with like fucked up, I think the highest peak was when the grandpa starts sucking on her fucking finger.
That's so weird.
Oh my god!
I was like, "What are you doing, Granddad?" Holy shit! Because you know, I also thought I was like, "Is that what keeps him young? Is that what keeps him alive? Is like fucking blood? Is he a vampire?"
When they decided to actually and when they decided to let's let Grandpa kill her, and she's just sitting here. And by the way, before I forget, I want to say the set designer and the special effects guy should get all the credit in the fucking world.
Oh yeah, dude, they should get accolades. Yeah,
the time and like the thought and the effort and the
and put on. She was tied up to hands on top of the hand rests.
the chairs, the fucking stick figures, the whole goddamn the feathers everywhere. Like the guy, and even the room that Leatherface comes out of with the red with all the skulls
It
on
looks
it.
amazing. It looked awesome.
That guy is just an unsung hero for horror.
Yeah.
Like that, he did an amazing
That's
job.
what it is. I think it's the visuals that stand out the most. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that the story is not great, but the visuals are
not
so
to-
well done. You're like, holy shit. You
And
remember
not
it
to
forever.
mention the fucking mask. And I watched the documentary and he fucking nailed it. Like I love Tom Savini or whatever, but he fucking nailed it. He was like, so we made this fucking mask and we put all this work to it. We did it and it's fucked up looking. And it looks like nothing you've ever seen before. He was like, but when they brought out the Tom Savini mask, he was like, that's great, but it just looks like a Tom Savini mask. It doesn't look like human skin. It looks like a really cool mask. But in this, it looks fucking real. Like that guy,
I'm all about a guy doing his own thing, but it's Tom fucking Savini, dude. Like if Tom Savini made us a mask for a short that we were doing,
right?
Like
I know, but
Tom Savini.
But he also had a point. Like
no, I get what he's saying, but
yeah. But anyways, the set design and just the way that just made the fucking movie to me. But yeah, when he starts sucking on her finger, dude, and then that was fucked up. And
weird.
then the second most fucked up thing about the entire goddamn movie is when they tell the grandpa to kill her and he can't hold the hammer.
Yeah.
There's something really fucked up about, like, imagine if you're sitting there and your head's in that bucket
You're
and
waiting. Yeah.
And like it hits you, but it barely, like, because he couldn't swing the hammer. It was like, yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Imagine a hammer barely hitting you, and you don't know which one's going to be the actual fucking strike.
Yeah, I feel like Jeff Daniels. Just give me the goddamn number.
Where's
like if you're gonna fucking do it, do it. Holy shit, you're gonna let Bob Barker fucking come over here and fucking hit me with the
so
RIP.
fucking twisted, man.
It's been a while, but I'm just saying. But yeah, it was. You know what I really thought? I thought they were gonna keep her as a breeding tool. That's what I thought. Yeah. I thought they were going to keep her, like, you remember in Hills Have Eyes, specifically the remake, they explored that. Like the girl that survives, they kept her as a breeding. Yeah. You know, I mean, how many bitches is going to come out that way anyway? And so I felt like in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they were trying to fatten her up and trying to keep her like, and they were trying to like do this Stockholm syndrome thing, like trying to fuck her up and kidnap her and make her like believe their beliefs, and then keep her as a you know, like literally like a sperm bank. They can fuck it and then they can have babies and they can expand their family. I feel like that would have been more fucked up, honestly.
If any of you out there aren't thankful for your life right now, and you're like, man, I wish I had enough money for a new car, just imagine somewhere there's a Sally Hardesty that's getting butt fucked by those three guys to create.
Well, but they didn't ultimately. Well, ultimately they didn't do that. I mean, they were just going to kill her, and you know, and that was. But I feel like Toby Hooper wanted that to be. You know what? You know, the first thing I remember is like when he was like, let's have Grandpa have some fun. I thought he was gonna fuck her. Like they were gonna like lay him on top of her.
No way that guy can get a boner.
No,
they're not finding Cialis anywhere. They don't have the means.
You know, there weren't Viagra, but there was a lot of certs.
He just been able to just hit her in the face.
Sugar might have helped him, but I don't know. You know, I'm not trying to be fucked up with it, but I mean, it really is a fucked up movie anyway. So I figure, you know, you might as well go the full Monty. That'd be a fuck. Here, she never got away. She never got away.
Oh yeah. Ooh,
and then they were just raping her over and over again, and then she was producing new heirs.
See, maybe that's why Rob Zombie shouldn't get a Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Well, no, but I'm saying,
I just feel gross.
No, it's gross. It's gross. But I'm saying, would that like, because that would have made like why the family's still there, because no one found out, right? No one ever knew about the murders because she never got away.
Thanks. I hate it. It would just make you feel so sick. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh.
But if you ever going to reimagine Texas Chainsaw, you could.
No, I know exactly what you're saying. It just, it scares me. I don't like it.
I'm not gonna film it.
I know.
I'm just gonna talk about it.
Swear?
You swear, dude? I swear to God, I won't, because I don't have the fucking money.
Shape of the Shadow says, when are we gonna get more Loomis and Michael skits and Slenderman ones? I miss those. I know you guys don't live close, but just miss them. Love you guys. Love you too, man. We just did one like a week ago.
Yeah, we're gonna do more as soon as everything gets back to kind of a normal pace.
Yeah,
it's kind of been fucked up with everything else going on, man. Well, no, I mean, literally, I mean, Mike explained it, the COVID scares, and then we got an ice storm coming, and then there's like just been life getting in the way of things. But when we get back to the normal rhythm of things, you're gonna get your fix there, sir. You're gonna get your fix.
We'll cook up another one, man. But yeah, so and then the ending's the last thing we have to talk about. But I was so fucking relieved, by the way, when she ran out. And by the way, this lady, she can jump through windows like nobody's fucking business. I mean, she just pops right through them sons of bitches. Like,
first off, I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. First off, Gunnar Hansen. No. Listen, Gunnar Hansen was 6'4". She was 5'2". I looked this up. And Gunnar Hansen was a big boy. He was a big guy. She was very in shape. There's no fucking way that Leatherface could have kept that cardio up with a chainsaw running for that long.
The other guy caught her first, though. I think he slowed her down.
No, I'm talking about. You know what? I'm back. I'm back at the original when he was like after he killed Franklin.
Oh yeah,
running from him.
Yeah,
he would have already dropped dead of a heart attack, or it would have been like it would have never fucking happened.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
That's a good point.
It just wouldn't.
No, I
mean, I know he had longer legs. He's 6'4", but he not in a good shape.
In the end, and she actually hurt her ankle jumping out of that window doing that scene. But in the end, she was limping because she was hurt, and she's getting away. And you're thinking, "Oh fuck!" It was a really fucked up scene to have the dude, running up behind her and like slashing her with the little fucking thing, like and like hitting her with the thing while she was escaping. And I was damn. Leatherface is trailing behind, and you see that trucker coming. You're like, "Oh, thank God, here we go." But you just knew that trucker was going to fuck get it. And of course, he hits the dude.
Well,
and
the trucker got away.
Smithereens.
We don't know what happened to the trucker.
I know, but I thought there's no way he gets away.
Ran all the way to fucking Mexico.
I thought wouldn't you just keep?
I keep booking it, dude. I'd never stop.
I wish he had some dialogue though.
I would go Forrest Gump.
With Leatherface,
go your own way.
Go your own way. When Leatherface starts going all over his door, I'll be like, "Get off my fucking door, man!" Goddamn.
Dude, that part when she jumped in the back of the pickup truck and she's driving away after she escapes Leatherface, and she's like, it kind of fucking freaked me out a little bit.
Yeah,
because you can see she's a really good actress too. Because you can see, I feel like what Toby Hooper was going for, the complete meltdown of sanity.
Yeah,
to insanity. She started laughing like those freaks at the dinner table. She was so she was so happy and relieved to be away, but she's also the realization that her friends are gone, her brother is gone. She barely made it out on the back of a pickup truck going the other fucking way. A guy that probably wears Wranglers and smells like butthole, and all this thing is crashing it while he is like, waving the chainsaw in the air. Dude, I think the ending is one of the best endings. I mean, I think, honest to God, the ending of this movie is one of the best endings of a horror movie I've ever seen, ever.
That's a great question too. Like if you talk about like the top 10 horror endings of all time,
because all you see is the chainsaw. That's it.
Yeah, when he's doing the "Let it go, let it go," and she's screaming
Scott
like
Stapp is singing somewhere.
Yeah, it was really, with arms wide open. It was so fucked up, dude. It may be like top 5 greatest horror.
It might be because if you had never seen another Texas Chainsaw movie ever, and that was the way the movie ended, which is him raging to the heavens, and he's got his chainsaw and he's screaming and he's doing his grunting donkey sound, and then it just goes to black screen. That's fucking scary, dude.
Yeah,
because obviously, you're gonna, as a fan or anybody, any moviegoer, like what happened after this, but you have to make your own mind up, and that's what's fucking scarier. Like I feel like obviously she was on the back of the pickup truck and she keeps going, and you think that she gets rescued or whatever, but that guy's still out there, and you don't know. Now he's fucking rage filled, like he's rageful. Does he descend on a nearby town, and just fucking starts murdering everybody?
I think he just goes back to the old the Golden Corral freezer, but next time he sees a human being, he's going to be doubly pissed off, which is what they fucked up with in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. They should have just picked up the story. They should have just picked up the story from him and had someone else. They got to feed people, right? Someone else was going to come through there, or maybe they send the police.
Well, they bring the dad back or whatever. But I feel like overall that ending for that movie is one of the best endings of any horror movie, period. I mean, awesome, straight up, it really was one of the best horror movie endings.
And real quick, the only thing that we didn't mention, the only thing left to talk about is Franklin's death. But by the way, I want to ask you this
Brutal.
too, and I want to ask all you guys. Put it in the chat, comment down below, whatever you want to do. What's your favorite kill of the movie? For me, it's the opening kill. It's Kirk, because just the way that Leatherface just pumps up that just pops him one time, the way that he shook like that freaked me the fuck out. And Toby Hooper himself said the reason he had him do that, he says, because if a sledgehammer crushes your skull, the fragments would go into your brain and cause you to do that. That is just the most fucked up thing of all time to me in my mind. But Franklin's death, dude. I mean, it's the one
brutal.
true. Yeah. If you think about, okay, I'm gonna watch Leatherface murder somebody. He's gonna do it with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Like the Leatherface murdering Franklin is exactly what you imagine Leatherface murdering someone should be. I mean, he's just sitting there and just
and he can't
in
move.
and out.
Yeah.
Whew. Fuck.
I don't. I always go with Kirk.
Kirk's yours too.
Yeah, I'll go with Kirk because because he's got to be aware in some aspect, and he just hit him with a fucking hammer, and you're still probably awake in some capacity, but you can't control your body now because he's caused you brain damage.
Yeah,
and you just got to lay there while he drags you into the fucking room to do more harm to you. By the way, Tomo Ogato says Drayton, Jay. He wasn't the dad. Okay, Drayton. That's always weird to me. Okay, so was Leatherface the younger brother and the guy that okay, but was Sam the guy that the hitchhiker, was that his son or just another brother? Were they all just brothers?
I think they were brothers, but there's a lot of inbreeding situations going on. I think
don't know.
Grandpa was. I'm not sure.
Tomo Ogato, I don't know. Okay, I live in Kentucky, and even I don't know.
I don't know
about this inbreeding situation, but
I can't help but think
maybe they're not the dad. I don't. Okay, so he's not the dad, but okay.
When he's doing the floppy thing, when he gets hit with the thing, I can't help but think about the fucking SpongeBob SquarePants. I was like, so jump on the deck and flop like a fish.
Well,
I know it's me.
That scared the fuck out of me, dude. Because April was asking me, she's like, "How much brain trauma do you think that you have to have happen to go into a seizure?" I'm like, a lot. Your frontal cortex is fucked. That guy hit him so fucking hard in the goddamn head. Your brain said, fuck it, I'm not taking any more messages from the body.
Your brain's literally like, get me out of here, mister.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
mister, get me out of here.
Me. And then the fact that you're kind of aware, and then he drags you into the back room, and you're still probably awake, and you're aware, and then he fucking kills you is pretty nasty.
Or the girl who's like sitting there waiting and gets put on a fucking meat hook, and then you got that hole in your fucking back, and then you get shoved into a freezer.
And then they have a bucket underneath of you so it can bleed out. I think that what did it the best, I think that the remake does it a lot better in exploring that fear. You know what I mean? Like, that one dude that's hooked on the actual hook, and she's trying to get him off. I think that shit. I think the remake does a lot better of a job explaining and exploring that you're alone and you're fucked.
Yeah, it's a whole and it is a whole different movie, but they did a great job making it in their own way too. But yeah, I think that's the fucking movie, man. I think this is. I'm disappointed. I'm upset that you're not going to do the entire franchise now, because this was fun to talk about. And I want to force you to do it. I'm not
going to do it, Mike, unless we.
I want to put you in a headlock and noogie you and like make you touch my wiener.
And we can't do that now.
What?
We can't do a man versus movie now.
No, I know, but I just.
But you have fun with your adventures.
I don't want to go on the dark road.
Well, you know what? Next week, I'll be back with the thoughts on the remake.
The remake. Yeah, the remake, and that'll be fun. And then,
well,
you are going to review the new one though with me, right? Like the new one when it comes out on the 18th or whatever.
Is it streaming?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Well, then I'll watch it.
And we're going to get a screener for it too. They don't have it yet, but they said they'll give it to us soon.
Yes, I will. I will do the new one with you.
Okay.
And I'm going to do the remake. We'll talk about that. But as far as like Texas 2 and the next generation and all that bullshit, you can have fun in your adventures, and I hope you and I say Godspeed to you through your adventures through the Hades. But here's the thing, you gotta agree with me on this. I mean, 100%, you really do. If Texas had ended with the first one, would it not be one of the greatest horror movies of all time?
I think it already is, Jay.
No, I mean it is.
You don't think it's?
It's one of the great, but I think it could have been much more than it, if they never made sequels to it. Because I feel like it's scarier the fact that he lost his entire inbred family and then she got away and then he's like chainsawing the fucking sky at the end of the movie and then it goes to black.
Well,
I think that's like brilliant.
This is maybe where we differ, just like not on opinion, but as just human beings. I agree that like most of the sequels suck butthole. Like, right? Like, I don't want to watch them.
I think like 90%
you know what I mean?
of them do.
I don't want to watch some of these movies, but I need to. I need to watch them, take them in,
because you're a completionist. That's like if you hate fucking collecting Pokemon cards, you'll still collect them. Even though it costs you an arm and a leg.
No, it's like when we had sports cards and shit as kids, and like you put them in like the nine slots, and I got to put these in here by rookies, by this team, whatever. For me in my head, knowing there's a new Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I've got to go through every single movie, watch it, catalog my thoughts via the channel, and then like move into the next era like that way. I don't want to watch Leatherface again. I promise you, as a human being, if we didn't do this channel, there is not a single part of me that would ever want to watch that movie again, but I probably would anyway, just so I could be like, that's still
unless you were a super fan. If you were a super fan. But by the way, I'm also not calling out anybody that loved the sequels after the first one. Not at all. I'm just saying, like, personally, I feel like Texas was so good, was so amazing, and so original. Just like Scream. You could have ended it, and it would have been legend. It would have been legend in the arena. But you know,
they
did what they did about
Halloween though. When he's gone from
not
from
really
the grassy knoll and like, oh my god, he could be anywhere.
No, because in Halloween when he just fucking disappears into the night and you hear the breathing at the end of the movie, that's what sets it apart for me. But either way, man, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1974 holds up today like no other. Like it really does.
It do though.
Yeah.
All right, we'll catch up these super chats and get out of here. Austin, thanks, buddy. Says Texas Chainsaw Family versus the Fireflies, Devil's Rejects. Who's coming out on top? No doubt, Texas Chainsaw.
Shut the fuck up. Get your Rob Zombie butthole out of here.
Fuck them Fireflies. He says,
I know, I love you, man. It's fine. I know.
Hope you're doing well, Mike. Appreciate that, Austin. Hanging in, buddy. Hanging in. Every day is a new day. Day by day. It's baby steps. What's the word I'm looking for? I think it's day by day.
Day by day.
One day at a time.
Small steps.
One day at a time, baby. But you guys help. I'll tell you that. Let's see here. I think that could be, and I think that it is. Oh, no, it's not. Emerald Emissary. Thank you so much, my good friend. Really appreciate that. That's a very sweet super chat. I just wanted to thank you for the many laughs you provided me over the last couple months. Since Emerald Emissary. I also was wondering what it would sound like if Slender Man tried to get Loomis to give up the Asian tea for Subway sandwiches.
Oh,
you're about to pull some Eddie Murphy shit.
I know. I know what healthy is. I'll tell you something else.
Hercules.
Okay, so I'm gonna do my best. I can't do it all right for long. So Dr. Loomis, me knows you drink a lot of Asian tea. And you know what? It's full of all sorts of bad things for you. You know what me think though? For your peace of mind. Me think that maybe you should switch to some sandwich. It make you feel strong and ready to take on the Michael Myers and maybe put him to dirt like you want to do. You know what I think? I think you're half stupid. You talk like half your tongue was cut out. Who did this to you? Why do you talk to me in such a way? You know what I think? I think you should be locked up next to Michael. You goddamn subway groping dick muncher. Shut your goddamn mouth up and get out of my face. No. You misunderstand what me saying. You have a lot of issues inside, Rose. You're so angry inside. You're so angry. Subway sandwich purify you. You don't need no Asian tea for this. You need American Subway sandwich. You know what I need? I need you to die right now from a heart attack and remove your sight from my face. Shut up! You idiot. You look like a person wrapped in a Band-Aid. Goodbye.
Dude, D-Land made me laugh. It said Jay's like James McAvoy in Split. That was good, dude. That was
Who would
fucking
like
awesome.
a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Not the beast. Not the beast.
Hey man, I would love to go back and re-review that trilogy. Unbreakable.
That would be fun. I would do that.
Yeah.
I'll do
What
that.
was it? Unbreakable, Split, and Glass.
Glass, yeah, that'd be a good time in Ridgemont High. Hey, that'd be a short man verse movie we could do sometime, maybe. Hey, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's
Let's
leave
go.
this fucking
Let's run
place.
away. Let's run away, Wayne.
Let's run away, Wayne. Hey, guys, this was awesome. It was a really fun time. It was a good time. Hey, as long as we don't lose power, we'll see you guys again really soon. They're saying that we might lose power with this ice storm coming up, but hopefully we won't. But either way, yeah, we'll see you guys soon. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. A nice fucking awesome crowd. It's really special to feel like 344 people give a shit to hear what we have to say.
What?
2.5
Oh my god,
hours.
that's holy shit.
Yeah,
A lot of
pretty
people.
goddamn.
You know what,
fucking
guys?
nice.
I think it's my fault. I keep on putting on our private chat, and I don't see how many people are actually in here.
It's surprising.
I like you guys. You guys are really cool. Thanks for hanging out with us.
I don't understand it, but I do appreciate it. This many people give a fuck what we have to say, and it's nice to have you guys to fucking party with from time to time, and we love you. So thanks for being here tonight.
D-Land, thank you for that. Hit that like button, you sexy sons of bitches.
Yeah.
Okay, show your love. Show your
Yeah,
love.
good-
Hit that like button.
You had a good time tonight. You might as well click like and share this motherfucker. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck.
I gotta pee. Love you guys. Good night.
See you guys.
That was not a. You know what I meant. That was like a.
What'd you do?
I did like a. Yeah.
What are you doing?
What I meant to be like.
Calm down.
Mm-hmm. No, like. Mm-hmm. Like.
Ooh.
Hey.
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 Come, my lady. Come, my lady. I'm your
You're my
butterfly. Sugar, baby.
baby.